Hello students, welcome to the session. This is Neha Gupta, your mathematics educator, and students, today we are going to discuss some really very important questions of NSTSE. Alright, so students, please take a copy and a paper and a pen and please try to solve all the questions with me only. Okay, alright. So students, this is your very first question for today, which you can see on the screen. First, read the question very carefully and then try to solve it. Okay? Alright. So, in the question it is given that if 4x, y, z, 48 are in arithmetic progression, then select the value of x plus y plus z. Alright, the question is very good in fact because starting 5 terms are given here, right? The 5 terms of an arithmetic progression are given here. That means I can say that the value of a1, that means the first term, which is a, it is equal to 4. The second term a2 is nothing but equals to a plus b, which is equal to x. The third term a3, which is a plus 2d, is equal to y. The fourth term a4 is equal to a plus 3d, it is equal to z. And the fifth term a5, which is a plus 4d, is equal to 48. Okay, so let's suppose this is equation 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. Alright, so in total 5 equations I have in this question. So now students, in this question, what I can do, I can just use the equation number 1 and equation number 5 to solve this question. Okay, because the value of a is given equals to 4 and the value of a plus 4d is given equals to 48. So what I can do, I can just put the value of a in the given equation. It becomes 4 plus 4d is equals to 48. So from here I can get the value of d, right? So this is 44. So d is nothing but equals to 11. Now I have the value of a and I have the value of d. So I can easily get the value of x, y and z. So x is nothing but a plus b. That means 11 plus 4, which is equals to 15. Similarly, the value of y is, now I can see this is 15 plus 11, right? It is 26. And the value of z is 26 plus again it is 11. So this is 26 plus 11 is 37. Alright, so these are the values of x and y and z. Now I have to add these all values together. So 15 plus 26 plus 37 is equal to 78. 78, that means option B is your right answer. Perfect. Alright, now let me show you the detailed explanation for this question. Perfect. The first question is done. Now let's move to the second one. So here students, this is the second question. The second question is saying that a and b are the roots of x square plus px plus 12 is equal to 0 and alpha minus beta is equal to 1. Then select the value of p. Alright, so one quadratic equation is given, x square plus px plus 12 is equal to 0, right? And these are alpha and beta, right? So alpha and beta are two roots of the given equation. It is also given. Then in this case, if alpha and beta are two roots of x square plus px plus 12 is equal to 0, then I can say that sum of the roots, that means alpha plus beta is nothing but equals to minus b upon, right? That means minus p over 1, which is equal to minus p. That means the sum of roots is nothing but equals to minus p. Similarly, the multiplication of root, that means alpha into beta is equal to c over a. So c is what? The constant term, it is 12 and this is 1, that means it is 12. So the multiplication of root, that means alpha into beta is equal to 12 here. One more thing is also given that alpha minus beta is equal to 1 and I have to select the value of p, that means I have to find out the value of alpha plus beta, right? So, my dear students, I have alpha plus beta, I have alpha minus beta, I have alpha into beta. So, I know one relation between these terms, that alpha plus beta whole square is equal to alpha minus beta whole square plus 4 alpha beta, right? So, alpha plus beta whole square, it is 3 square. This is alpha minus beta whole square, it is 1 plus 4 into alpha into beta, that means it is 4 into 12, right? So, p square is nothing but equal to 1 plus 4 into 12 is and plus 1, it is 49. Okay, so I'm just writing it directly. That means p is nothing but equal to plus minus 7. Yes, option D is your right answer. Perfect. The question is done, the concept is done, and we have the answer. Perfect. Now let's move to the next question, my dear students. So here is the next question. Okay. So first of all, in this question, they are talking about a triangle, right? In triangle ABC, angle ACB is 90 degree. Okay, so one angle is given equal to 90 degree. That means this is a right angle triangle, right? and it is right angled at C. So let's suppose this is A, this is B, and this is C. Angle C is equal to 90 degree and CD is perpendicular on AB. That means this angle is also equal to 90 degree. BC is given equal to 6 centimeter and CA is given equal to 8 centimeter. Then what is the length of CD? Okay, so I have to find out the length CD. So my dear students, as we can see here that two right angle triangles are given. Perfect. So I can easily put the similarity of triangle here, right? Let me show you the pair diagram for this question. Okay. So as you know that similarity of triangle we can have, and we can have all right. Okay. No, not try to solve it with the similarity of triangle. Yes, this one is a perfect one. So what we can see that angle C is 90 degree angle. This is let's suppose this is C. Okay, CD which I have to find out. So let's suppose it is C and this is A and this is B. Perfect. This is also done. So here students, as we can see that if I want to find out the area of triangle ABC, then how we can do this? Okay, so the area of triangle ABC is half of base into height, right? Half of base into height. Okay, so let's suppose if I'm taking BC as base, then what is the height? Then height is AC. So in this condition, the area of triangle is half of AC, right? And if I'm taking AB as base, then in this condition, CD is the height. Okay, so I can say that this is half of AB is equal to half of AB into C, right? If AB is the base, then C is the height. Perfect. So half and half, it will get cancelled out. So 1 upon C is is AB over AB, right? Perfect. Now if I do the square, then this is it. So AB square is what? This is the right angle triangle. So AB square is nothing but equal to A square plus B square according to the Pythagoras theorem. Okay. So now I can cancel out A square from A square and B square from B square. So it becomes A square 1 upon A square plus 1 upon B square, right? 1 upon C square is equal to 1 upon A square plus 1 upon B square. Now I have the length of BC, right? This is equal to 6. And I have the length of CA, this is equal to 8. So let me put both the values. So now we will have the answer, right? Some calculation and then you can get your answer. This is 4.8. Correct. Perfect. This question is also done. Now let me proceed with the next one. So here student, this is the next question. In the next question, they are talking about a quadrilateral ABCD. Okay, perfect. So first let me draw a quadrilateral ABCD. Okay, they are talking about the quadrilateral, not the parallelogram or nothing. So let's suppose here this is a quadrilateral A, B, C, and D. Okay, and one more thing is also there that this is a right angle circle, right? This is 90 degrees. Okay, perfect. And one more thing is given that A square plus AB square plus BC square plus CD square plus minus AD square. Okay, so AD is this, BC is this. Okay, and CD is this and AB is this. All right, that is the sum of all the square and AD is also there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, minus it is equal to 0. Then what is angle ACD? Angle ACD. Okay, so first I need to draw the angle ACD. Okay, so for this I am just connecting the points A and C. Now this angle is angle AC. Perfect. Thank you. So my dear students, here one thing is given that the angle B is equal to 90 degrees, right? If the angle B is equal to 90 degrees, that means here ABC is a right angle triangle where AC is the hypotenuse, right? That means I can say that AC square is equal to AD square plus BC square, right? Perfect. And one statement is also given in the square form here. So this is AB square plus BC square plus CD square minus AD square. Perfect. This is equal to 0. Alright. So AB square plus BC square, can I write it is equal to AC square? Right? So this is AC square plus CD square. Can I write it like this? Is equal to AD square. Both are perfect. Okay. So this is AD square is equal to AC square plus CD square. So I can say that yes, this is hypotenuse, this is base, and this is perpendicular, right? That means yes, this triangle is following the Pythagoras theorem. That means yes, this is a right angle triangle. If this is a right angle triangle, then yes, angle C, or I can say that angle ACB is equal to 90 degrees. That means yes, option C is the right answer. Perfect one. Now let me show you the fair diagram for this question. Perfect. Now the next one. All right, my dear student, this is the next question. In the next question, they are saying that choose the area of a triangle formed by these lines. All right, so basically they are saying that there is a triangle which is formed with these three lines. That means yes, this is a triangle. Let's suppose this is a triangle. Okay, and the first line is x plus 5y is equal to 9. I can write it. This is 5x minus 19. 5x minus by minus 19 is equal to 0, and this is 7x minus 4y plus 15 is equal to 0. Okay. All right. So, my dear students, in this question, basically we have the equation of three lines, right? But we cannot find out the area with the equation of three lines. Okay. I think I should have the length of the sides, or if I have the even the vertices, if I have. Okay, if I have the vertices, then also I can find out the area, right? So I think to find vertices is quite simpler. Okay, so I can use this method. I have I have the equation of the three lines. Okay, so what I can do here, I can just try to find out the vertices here, right? Because this vertex is nothing but the intersecting point of these two lines, right? The line x plus 5 by minus 9 is equal to 0, and the line 7x minus 4y plus 15 is equal to 0. So to find this vertex, what I can do, I can just find out the intersecting point of these two lines, right? And to find the intersecting point of these two lines, what should I do? I should solve these two equations, and I have to find out the value of x and y. So the equation is x plus 5y minus 9 is equal to 0, and this is 7x minus 4y plus 15 is equal to 0. So what I can do, I can just multiply the equation number 1 with 7, right? So it becomes 7x plus 5 7 is 35 minus 7 9 is 63 is equal to 0. Now I have the equation, and this equation I also have with me. Okay, so now what I can do, I can just subtract the equation, right? This will get cancelled out, and 35 plus 4 is 39y, and this is minus 5 plus 3 is 8, and 6 plus 1 is 7, okay, is equal to 0. That means y is nothing but equal to 2, right? Now I have the value of y. That means I have the y coordinate for this point. Now, how can I find out the x coordinate? I can just put the value of y in the equation number 1. So x plus 5 into this is 2 minus 9 is equal to 0. That means x plus 5 to the 10 minus 9 is equal to 0. So this is 1. That means x is equal to minus 1, right? So the x coordinate is minus 1. Now I have the coordinate for one vertex. Similarly, this vertex is the intersection point of these two lines. So I can do the similar thing. And this point is the intersection point of these two lines. So I can do the similar thing, right? So with the help of this method, I can find out the intersecting points for all the three vertices, right? Like this. Here. Now, I have the vertices for all the three. I have coordinates for all the three vertices. So now I can just put the formula. The formula to find the area of triangle ABC is nothing but half of x1 into y2 minus y3 plus x2 into y1 minus y2, y1 minus y3. Okay, we have mod with all the values. Okay, plus x3 into y1 minus y2. Right. This is the formula to find out the area of triangle. Okay. Now, what is the value of x1, y1, and y2? These coordinates. Let's suppose this is x1, this is y1. This is x2, this is y2. This is x3, this is y3. Just put all the values in the formula, and then you will get your answer as 39 square plus. Perfect. Okay. Yes, this question has some calculation, but this is not very much difficult. You can easily solve this question. But yes, these type of questions are quite time-taking in the exam. Okay. All right. So just try to save some time for these type of questions in your exam. Okay. Perfect. Now the next one. The next question is, a cone of base radius 4 cm is divided into two parts by drawing a plane through the midpoint of its height and parallel to its base what is the volume ratio of the upper cone and the frustum of the cone? Perfect. Very nice question. So, students, if I draw the diagram of a cone, then it is something like that, right? And if I draw a two-dimensional diagram of a cone, then it looks like a triangle, right? The two-dimensional diagram of a cone looks like a triangle. Okay, so let's suppose this is a triangle. Now the question is saying that a cone of base radius 4 centimeter. So the base radius is 4 centimeters, is divided into two parts by drawing a plane through the midpoint of its height and parallel to its base. That means something like that. Something like that. Perfect. So what is the volume ratio of the upper cone and the frustum of the cone? So whenever I cut a cone like this, okay, then the upper part, as you can see that the upper part always looks like a cone, right? And the lower part looks like a frustum. Perfect. So as you can see in the diagram that the upper part is cone and the lower part is frustum. Clear? Okay. Now I think you understood you got my point. Okay. Now let me show you the fair diagram for this question. Okay. So as you can see, this is the triangle, right? And I'm cutting it along the B. Okay. All right. So how we can solve this question? I think we can approach the similarity of triangle here, right? Because whenever I'm cutting a cone like this, then the triangle ABE and the triangle ACE both are right angle triangle. That means both are similar triangles, right? Both are similar triangles. So I can put the concept of the similarity of triangle, right? Triangle ABE is similar to triangle ACE. Perfect. So if these two triangles are similar to each other, then AB over AC is equal to BE over AC. Perfect. I'm cutting it from the midpoint. That means this height AB is h by 2 now, right? If the AC is h, then AB is h by 2. So I'm just putting the value of AB and the value of AC. Okay. So h and h it will get cancelled out. So it becomes BE by 4, right? Perfect. That means what is the value of BE? BE is equal to twice of centimeter, 2 centimeters. Perfect. Now, the next thing is that what is the volume ratio of the upper cone and the frustum of the cone? So just put the formulas for the volume of cone and the volume of frustum. That's it. So what is the volume of cone? It is 1 upon 3 pi r square h. And what is the volume of the frustum? It is 1 upon 3 pi r1 square h minus 1 upon 3 pi r2 square h, where r1 and r2 are basically the larger radius and the smaller radius, right? So BE will be the smaller radius, right, for the frustum, and CD will be the larger radius for the frustum. Okay. So as you know that this is 4 and this is 2 now. Okay. Okay. So let me put the values in the formula. Okay. So 1 upon 3 pi r square into h is h by 2 for the upper one, and for this one, this is h, and for this one, this is h by 2. Perfect. All right. Now, some calculation is there, and you can easily find out the ratio, which is 1:7. That means yes, option C is the right answer for this question. Perfect. The question is done. All right. Perfect. Now, let's move to the next question. So here, my dear student, this is the next question. The next question is saying that if sin theta plus cos theta is equal to root 3, then what is tan theta plus cot theta? Oh my god, this question is quite good. Alright, let me explain this question. So basically the question is saying that the value of sin theta plus cos theta is equal to square root of 3. Perfect. Okay. Now we have to find out the value of tan theta plus cos theta. Okay, this value I have to find out. So how we can proceed this question, because we have value for sin theta and cos theta, and we have to find out the value of tan theta and cot theta, and basically the cot theta is the reciprocal of tan theta. That means cot theta I can also write tan theta plus 1 upon tan theta, right? This I can also write. Perfect. Okay, that's it. So again the value of sin theta and cos theta is given. So we know one thing about the sin theta and cos theta, that sin square theta plus cos square theta is nothing but equal to 1, right? So what I can do in this question, I can just do the square, right? I can just do the square to solve this question basically. So this is the equation number 1. So let me do the square of equation number 1. So it becomes sin theta plus cos theta whole square is equal to square root of 3 whole square. Perfect one. Alright, so this is nothing but a plus b whole square. That is sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal plus 2 sin theta cos theta is equal to 3 because the square root of 3 whole square is simple 3, right? Now, sin square theta plus cos square theta is what? It is 1. So I can say this is 1 plus 2 sin theta cos theta is equal to 3. Perfect one. Now we can also say that 2 sin theta cos theta is equal to 2 because 3 minus 1 is 2. So I can say that yes, sin theta cos theta is equal to 1. Perfect. Very good. So now I have the value of sin theta into cos theta and I need the value of tan theta plus cos theta. So how we can do this? Okay. Alright. Let me show you this also, students, because we have to find out the value of tan theta plus cos theta, right? So tan theta I can write sin theta upon cos theta. And cos theta I can write cos theta over sin theta. Very well. Okay, now I can take the LCM, which is sin theta cos theta. Okay, so this becomes sin square theta and this becomes cos square theta, which is equal to 1. So this is 1 upon sin theta into cos theta, and sin theta into cos theta is again 1. So 1 upon 1, that means the correct answer is 1. Very well. So option A is your right answer. Very good. This question is also done. Now let me show you the detailed explanation for this question. Perfect one? Alright. Let me show you the next question. So here students, this is the next question, and in this question, they are saying that if x a square plus b square and a plus b whole square are in arithmetic progression, then choose the value of x. Alright. So my dear students, I think you know one concept that if three numbers a, b and c, if they are in arithmetic progression, basically arithmetic progression, we write AP in the short form. So if they are in arithmetic progression, then in this case, twice of B is equal to A plus B. Or I can write it that B is equal to A plus B by 2. Very good. This concept we know. So I think we can use this concept with these three terms because these three terms are also in arithmetic progression. So let me do this. Twice of b. B is what? This is the middle term. Middle term is a square plus b square. So it is 2 into a square plus b square is equal to a plus c. A is what? A is the first term, which is x, plus c is what? C is the last term, which is a plus b whole square. Perfect. Now what I have to do in this question, I have to find out the value of x. I think we can easily get this value. So when I open this bracket, it becomes 2a square plus 2b square is equal to x plus this becomes a square plus b square plus 2ab. Okay, so now I can shift these values a square, b square and 2ab in the RHS part, in the LHS part. So they become 2a square plus 2b square minus a square minus b square minus 2ab is equal to x. So 2a square minus a square is a square. 2b square minus b square is plus b square minus 2ab is equal to x. Alright. So this is the concept here that this is nothing but this is the whole square of a minus b. Right? A minus b whole square. So a minus b whole square, that means yes, option D is the right answer for this particular question. Perfect one. Alright. The question is done. Now let me erase this all part and let me show you the detailed explanation for this question. Perfect. Now let me show you the next question, my dear students. This is the next question. So the next question is saying that in an arithmetic progression, the sum of first 20 terms is 40 and the sum of first 40 terms is 20, then choose the sum of first 60 terms. Alright, that means S20. The sum of first 20 terms is given equals to 40. The sum of 40 terms is given equals to 20, and they are asking for the value of S60, that is the sum of first 60 terms. Alright. And my dear students, we know that Sn, that is the sum of n terms in an arithmetic progression is, wait, let me write it here. Okay. So the sum of n terms in an arithmetic progression, that means Sn is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into 3. Perfect? Correct? Now we have the value of n and we have the value of Sn. Right? So for the first one, where I am writing S20 is equal to 40. So this is equal to 40 is equal to, what is the value of n here? It is 20. Perfect. So 20 divided by 2, can I write it 10 directly? So 2a, we don't have the value of a, and this is n minus 1, that means 20 minus 1, which is 19. So this is 19 here. So I can solve it a little bit more. So 2a plus 19b is equal to 4. This is my equation number 1. Very well. Now I can again do the same thing with the s. 40 is equal to 20. So here the value is equal to 20 and the value of n, it is equal to 40. Right? So 40 divided by 2, it is 20. And 2a plus n minus 1, that means 40 minus 1, which is 39. Perfect. This is also done. So now this equation is more simpler one, right? Because in this we have twice of a plus 39b it is equal to 1, right? Okay. So now student, my dear students, we have equation number 1 and equation number 2. In both equations we have two variables a and b. So I think we can solve these equations very easily and we can get the values for a and, right? Okay, so first let me subtract these two equations. 2a plus 19b is equal to 4 and 2a plus 39b is equal to 1. Okay, so minus, minus and minus. Okay, so it is cancelled out. 19 minus 39 is what? It is 20, right? So this is 20b minus 20b is equal to, this is 3. That means b is nothing but minus 3 over 20. Correct? This is the value of b. Now I can put the value of b in the equation, in any equation, equation 1 or equation 2, and I can derive the value for a, which is 137 divided by 40. Perfect. Now the question is asking for the value of the sum of 60 terms. Okay. So I will use the same formula. Now I have all the values. Okay. So I am erasing this part because from this part I have to just find out the value of a and b, which I have now. Okay, so it is not needed anymore. Alright, this is done. Now let me try to put the values for S60. So S60 is equal to, this is 60 by 2 into 2 into a is 137 divided by 40 plus n minus 1, that is 60 minus 1, which is 59. 59 into b is what? This is minus 3 by 20. Alright, now I have all the values, that means I have to do the calculations with these. Okay, let me show you the calculations and the correct answer. So here students, the correct answer is P minus 60. That if circle touches the side BC of a triangle ABC at P and extended side AB and AC at Q and R respectively, select the correct option. Already the question is very fine. So what we have to do first? Okay, so basically as you can see that the question basically relates to the geometry, and if question relates to the geometry, then first thing I need is a diagram, right? So first of all, they are asking about a triangle ABC. So all right, here it is your triangle ABC. Perfect. Let me give the name triangle A, B, and C. All right. And what they are saying that there is a circle also which touches the side BC externally, right? So what we are doing? We are just extending the side AB and AC, right? So just extend these two sides, the side AB. We have to extend this side AB and we have to extend the side A, right? This is what we have to do in this question. And there is a circle, right? There is a circle. Okay, it touches, but in this diagram it cannot touch. Let me draw the second diagram. Okay, perfect. This is, I think, quite fine. Okay, all right. So basically, this circle touches the side BC. So let's suppose this circle touches the side BC at any point. Let me give the name of this point. Okay. So let me give the name of this point as P. Let's suppose this point is P, this point is Q, and this point is R. That means the circle touches the side BC at point P. It is touching only, okay? It is not intersecting. This is not a fair diagram, this is just a rough diagram, okay? And it is intersecting the line AB at Q and AC at Q externally, okay? When we extend the sides AB and AC. Perfect? Alright, so Q and R respectively, so it is Q and R and it is P. Perfect? So basically we draw a diagram according to the given information in the question. Perfect. Alright. Now my dear students, this is the diagram. Now what concept I can use here? So one thing I can see that yes, this is the circle, right? And if I look at the point P, then BQ and BP, these two are two tangents on the given circle from point P, right? And when we draw two tangents on the same circle with the same point, then the length of these two tangents will be equal, right? That means in this case, BQ will be equal to BQ, correct? Right? Similarly, this thing we can also apply with the point C. So CP is also equal to CR, right? CP is equal to CR, right? Perfect. Very good. Now, they are talking about the sum of these three sides. Okay, so the sum of these three sides, that means the sum of all the sides of a triangle, that is AB plus BC plus CA. Okay, we can write it AB plus BC. I can write BP plus CC. All right, plus this is CA. Very fine. Now, my dear students, what I can do in this? This is AB plus BP plus CC plus CA now, right? So AB I can write directly AB, and AC I can write directly AC. But BP is equal to BQ and CC is equal to CR. Okay, so these things I can put here. So this is BQ plus this is CR plus this is CA. Perfect. That is done. Okay. Now this is AB plus BQ, right? AB plus BQ is what? This is the complete AQ, right? So this is complete AQ plus this is CA plus CR. This is what? This is complete AR, right? This is complete AR. Perfect. And as we know that AR is equal to AQ, right? Because tangents, these are also the tangents on the circle, right? AQ is a tangent and AR is a tangent, right? So these two also the tangent on the circle. So this will be also equal. So we can say that AQ is equal to AR because they are tangent drawn to a circle from point A. That means this I can write twice of AQ, right? Twice of AQ I can write. So twice of AQ is nothing but equal to AB plus BC plus CA, right? Perfect. So AQ is what now? AQ is half of AB plus BC plus CA, right? AQ is equal to half of AB plus BC plus CA. This is your right answer, my dear students. Okay. Now let me erase this and let me present the complete detailed solution of this question. Perfect. So the question is done. The first question for today is done. Now let's move to the second one. Alright, here is the second question, students. So in the second question, basically what they are saying that A, B, C, D, okay, and coordinates of A, B, C, D are also given, but D is x, y, right? And the vertices of a parallelogram A, B, C, D, then choose the vertex C. Okay, so we have to choose the vertex C. So for this, first I need a parallelogram, right? Okay, let's suppose this is a parallelogram. Okay, just imagine that this is a parallelogram because this is a rough diagram. This is A, B, C, and D. Okay, coordinates are also given. This is 3, 1. This is 5, 1. C is 6, 3. And D is x, y, which you have to find out. Okay, so this question is quite calculative. Okay, so let me present the calculations here. So as you know, student, that the parallelogram, diagonals basically bisect each other, right? Diagonals bisect each other. That means this side is equal to this side. Perfect. So in this case, we can say that the midpoint of these points, the midpoint of line BD, midpoint of line BD is basically equals to midpoint of line E, right? Midpoints are same, right? Midpoints are same. They are intersecting each other. Okay. So the midpoint of AC is what? This is 3 plus 6 by 2 and 1 plus 3 by 2. So just add the x coordinates, divide by 2, just add the y coordinates, divide by 2. Similarly, the midpoint of BD is 5 plus x divided by 2 and 1 plus y divided by 2. Perfect. Okay. So now here I can equate the x coordinates and I can equate the y coordinates. So if I equate the x coordinate, it becomes 9 by 2 is equals to 5 plus x by 2, that means x is equals to 4. And if I equate the y coordinates, it becomes 4 plus 2, this is 4 divided by 2 is equals to 1 plus 5 by 2. That means y is equals to 3. That means x comma y is nothing but 4 comma 3. Perfect. A very fine, very easy question, not very much difficult, right? Only the concept is here, okay? You can just apply the concept and that's it. Perfect. Now the next one, okay? The next question is this: select the measure of angle AOD, angle AOD, alright? So here we have to draw the diagonal, okay? So I'm constructing some lines. Perfect. Very good. Okay, now I have the angle AOD plus angle BOC plus angle BOC. This I have to find out basically. Okay, that's it. Okay, okay, my dear students. So what I'm doing here, I'm just joining the point OA, OB, OC, and OD. And let's suppose these points. Okay, these points. Let me give the name P, Q, R, S, and similarly I'm joining the points OP, OQ, OR, and OS. Perfect. Okay. So here students, in this, as we can see that angle AOP is equal to angle AOS, right? Let's suppose this is equal to S. Perfect. AOP and AOS, these two angles are equal to each other. Perfect. Very fine. Now, uh, similarly, I can say that angle POB is equal to angle BOQ. Let's suppose this is equal to y. Perfect. Fine. Angle QOC is equal to angle COR. Let's suppose this is equal to n. Okay. And angle ROD is equal to angle DOS. Let's suppose this is nothing but equal to n. Perfect. Fine. But we know, student, that the circle, a complete circle, is of 360 degree. That means the sum of all these angles, that is AOP plus COB plus OBQ plus OCQ, these all sum is equal to 360 degree, right? So I can say that angle AOP plus angle POB plus angle BOQ plus angle QOC plus angle COR plus, after COR what we have, ROD, right? Okay, plus angle ROD plus angle DOS is equal to 360 degrees. Perfect. Very good. Now I have names for all the angles, so I can put it, right? So this becomes X plus Y plus Y plus L plus L plus M plus N plus X is equal to 360 degrees. That means we have all the alphabets 2 times, right? X we have 2 times, Y we have 2 times, L we have 2 times, M we have 2 times, and N we have 2 times, right? Sorry, M we have 1 time and N we have 1 time. Okay. So here I can see that L plus X plus Y plus L plus M is equal to 180 degrees, and X plus Y plus M plus L is equal to 180 degrees. Perfect. Right? Correct? Very good. That means we can say that angle AOS plus angle SOD plus angle BOQ, okay, plus angle QOC plus angle QOC. Okay, let me write it here. It is equal to 180 degrees. Okay, perfect. No problem. Let me represent. So now I think you get an idea that why the angle AOD plus angle AOC is equal to 180 degrees, because what we have to do, we have to just put the values, because AOS plus SOD is what? This is AOS, right? And this is SOD. This is the complete angle AOD, right? And similarly, this is the complete angle BOC. I can put both the values and I will get my answer. That's it. Okay. So the question is quite simple. What you have to do, you have to just find out that okay. So what we have to find, we have to find the sum of these two angles and these two angles. So we know that these all angles sums to 360 degrees, right? And some angles are equal, which I can find out here. Okay, and I'm just putting the values and I can get my answer. That's it. Okay, so I can say yes, option C is your right answer. Okay, so in these questions, where you have to be focused basically, that which angle you have to put equal to which angle. Okay, this is a major thing. You have to be very careful in these type of questions. That's it. Okay. Alright, students, perfect then. But yes, some students are now thinking that yes, we are drawing these angles. Alright, so this angle is obviously 90 degree. This angle is obviously 90 degree. Then why we are doing this all shit? The angle is already equal to 180 degrees. So my dear student, it is not given that this is a square, right? It is not given in the question. Okay, so how we can say directly that this is 180 degrees? This can be a rectangle also. Okay, so what we have to do here, we have to just prove that yes, this angle and this angle comes to 180 degrees. Perfect. Fine. Now the next question is, my dear students, it is quite easy. Okay, what we have to do, we have to find the LCM of 5 by 6, 7 by 8 and 9 by 8. Okay, so basically these three numbers are fraction values and we have to find the LCM. So in this case, what we will do, we just find out the LCM of the numerator, that means 5, 7 and 9, and we just find out the highest common factor LCM of 6, the denominator, that is 6, 8 and 10. Okay, this is the process we follow whenever we find the LCM of the fraction value. And if we are finding the HCF of the fraction value, then what we will do? We will do the highest common factor, that means the HCF of the numerator and the LCM of the denominator. Right? Like if I am finding the LCM, I will just do the LCM of the numerator and HCF of the denominator. Perfect. So the LCM of 5, 7 and 9 is what? This is 5, this is 7 and this is 9. Okay, so the smallest number is 3. So 5, 7 and 3. Again 3, this is 5, this is 7 and this is 1. Again 5, this is 1, this is 7 and this is 1. Again 7, all are 1. Perfect. So 5, 7 35. 35 multiplied by 3 is 105. 105 and 3 is what? This is 350. Alright, so the LCM is 315. Okay, now we have to find out the highest common factor, that is the HCF of 6, 8 and 10. So the HCF of 6, 8 and 10, it is quite common. Then yes, it is 2, because 2 is the minimum number which 2 is the maximum number which I can divide with all these three numbers, right? So it is 2. So I can say 315 divided by 2. Yes, option A is the right answer. That's it. Okay, so this is the detailed solution of this question. Perfect. The question is done. Very nice. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is that if A and B are the zeros of 3x square plus 11x minus 4, then select the value of alpha upon beta plus beta upon alpha. Alright. So this is not A and B, this is basically alpha and beta here. Okay. So alpha and beta are two zeros of this quadratic equation. Okay. So this is 3x square plus 11x minus 4. Okay. So basically one quadratic equation is given. Zeros are given. So what we do in this case, we just find out the sum of the zeros and the multiplication of zeros. The sum of zeros, that means alpha plus beta is nothing but minus b by a. That means minus 11 by 3. Perfect. And multiplication of roots, it is c by a. So c is the minus 4 and this is 3. So this is minus 4 by 3. Perfect. Okay. Now I need the value of alpha upon beta plus beta upon alpha. Okay, so if I take the LCM, then it becomes alpha into beta. It becomes alpha square plus beta square. Okay, perfect, fine. So we have the value for alpha plus beta, but we don't have the value of alpha square plus beta square, so that I can put it. But yes, I can do one thing. I can just do the square of both the sides, right? So if I do the square, it becomes alpha plus beta whole square is equal to alpha square plus beta square plus twice of alpha beta, right? So alpha plus beta whole square is minus 11 by 3 whole square. This is equals to alpha square plus beta square plus twice of alpha into beta is minus 4 by 3. Okay, so this is how I can get the value of alpha square plus beta square. Perfect. Okay, so after finding the value of alpha square plus beta square, I can put it here, right? So, alright, so some calculation is there. Let me represent the calculation. Perfect. This is the calculation. Okay, so this is alpha plus beta whole square minus twice of alpha beta. I'm just putting the value of alpha plus beta and the alpha beta, and I can solve it because this is 11 square, which is 121. 3 square is 9 minus this is minus and minus becomes plus. So 4 2 times 2 is 8 by 3. Okay, so I can take that here and I can get my answer, which is minus 145 divided by 12. Okay, sorry, it is 12. So option D is your right answer, my dear students. Okay, perfect. This question is also done. Okay, so just stay focused on that which option we are just taking, because the numerator is equal. So in the basically you have so much load on your mind and you are in so much hurry. Okay, so don't get confused in the options. Okay, just look at the question very carefully. Just look at the option very carefully and take it very carefully. Okay. Perfect. Now let's move to the next question. Okay, so this is your next question, my dear students, and next question looks very true, I can say. Yeah. Okay, so the question is that in the figure PB is the tangent to the circle of tangent to the circle of center O. Okay, so the center of the circle is O. If PO is 26 centimeter, alright, PB is 24 centimeter, AB is 8 centimeter away from the center. Okay, that means the perpendicular height, the perpendicular distance of AB from the center O is given. Okay, which is equal to 8 centimeter. This is 8 centimeter. Okay, and if this is the perpendicular distance, yeah, then yes, this is 90 degrees of angle. Perfect. This is done. Okay, so I can say that angle okay, so in this I can say that angle in the triangle. Okay, perfect. Okay, all right. Okay, so what I have to do here, I have to just choose the length of AB. I have to just find out this length AB. Okay, so basically this length AB is nothing but it is twice of OB, right? I can say that the length AB is nothing but twice of OB. So if I can find out the length of OB, then I can just find out the length of AB also. Okay, perfect. So my dear students, just sorry, it is not OB. Let's suppose this is M, so this is MB, right? This is MB. AB is equal to twice of MB, right? So if I can find out the length of MB, then it will be great. Okay, now my dear students, just look at the triangle POB. Okay, in triangle POB, as we can see that angle B is equal to 90 degree, and whenever I see the 90 degrees angle, I just think about the Pythagoras theorem. So I can say that PO square is equal to PB square plus OB square, or I can say that OB square is nothing but PO square minus PB square, right? So PO is given, which is 26, and PB is also given, which is 24 square, right? That means 676 minus 576, that means it is 100. So I can say that OB is nothing but equals to 10 centimeter, right? This OB is 10. This OB is 10 now. Okay, so this OB is 10 and this OM, it is 8 given, right? So here it is again a right angle triangle. So again I can put the Pythagoras theorem, right? So in the Pythagoras theorem, it is OB square is equals to OM square plus MB square, right? Okay, so OB is 10, so this is 10 square is equals to OM is 8, so this is 8 square plus MB I have to find, so let's suppose this is X. Okay. Perfect. So now the question is very simple. This is 100 is equals to 8. So it is 64 plus x square. Okay. That means x square is nothing but 100 minus 64, right? 100 minus 64 is what, my dear students? This is 36. That means x is nothing but equal to 6. Okay. So if x is 6, it is 12. That's it. Option A is your right answer. Correct. So, my dear student, this is how you can solve the question. Okay. So, when you see this question first time, what do you think about? Okay, so when you see this question for the first time, you think about that basically what I can do in this question. Okay, just think about the question, that what is given in the question, and the given information, how can I use very correctly, right? So in this question, basically, it is given that CB is the tangent, all right. So I can say that yes, CB is the tangent, then yes, this angle is 90 degrees. So this angle is 90 degrees, two sides are given, so I can just find out the third one. Okay, so I find out the third one. Okay, then I can see that yes, the next most important thing given is that the perpendicular length of from O to AB, right? So yes, this thing I can also find that yes, this is again a 90-degree angle. So whenever I see a right angle triangle, I think about the Pythagoras theorem. So yes, I have the two sides. So I can again put the Pythagoras theorem. Okay, and yeah, that's fine. Now we have the answer. Alright, so first of all, the first task, what you do when you see a question? First, just read the question very carefully. Okay, so if I read this question, the question is basically saying that a motor boat takes 6 hours to cover 100 kilometer downstream and 30 kilometer upstream. If the boat goes 75 kilometer downstream and return to the starting point in 8 hours, what is the speed of the boat in still water? So basically, there is a motor boat, right? All right. First, let me explain the question that what basically the question is saying. Okay. So first of all, I have a motor boat, right? So motor boat takes, all right, and there is a river. Let's suppose this is the river. Okay. So motor takes 6 hours to cover 100 kilometer downstream. Downstream that means in the flow of river. Okay. So downstream. Okay. And this is upstream. Upstream means in the opposite side of the river flow, right? So whenever we are talking about the downstream, that means the speed would be fast, right? Because the river is flowing in this direction and we are also going in this direction. Okay, so double force will work in this case, right? So let's suppose that the speed of boat in still water, let speed of boat, speed of boat in still water is x, right? And speed of stream is equals to y. Let's suppose this, okay? So whenever I'm talking about the downstream, okay, downstream that means in the flow of river. So in this case, two forces will work, the speed of boat and the speed of stream, right? That means downstream means x plus y, right? Both will add. And when we are talking about the upstream, right? When we are talking about the upstream, that means the river is flowing in this direction and we are going in this direction. That means opposite force will work. So if opposite force will work, that means upstream is nothing but equals to x minus y. Correct? So as we know, student, that speed is equals to distance upon time, right? So distance is given, right? Speed is given. So as we can see, that time is equals to distance upon speed, right? So the time total is given equals to 6 hours in the first case. That means distance is 100, speed is x plus y, and then 30 is the distance and x minus y is our speed, and the total time is 6 hours. Perfect. This is our equation number 1. Very good. All right. Now we have to solve this equation, right? So to solve this equation, we can do one thing. Just suppose that 1 upon x plus y is equal to u and 1 upon x plus minus y is equal to v, right? So it becomes 100 u plus 30 v is equal to 6. Perfect. This is also done. And one more thing is also given here, student, that 75 kilometer downstream, that means 75 over x plus y plus, again it is returning to the same distance, that means 75 over x minus y. Now it is in the upstream. It is equal to 8 hours, right? So similarly, 75a plus 75b is equal to 8. This is your equation number 2. So now students, I have equation number 1, I have equation number 2, so I can solve it very easily. Wait a second. Yes, I can solve this very easily. Okay, this is your equation number 1, which we have, this is your equation number 2, and this is your equation number 1, which we have just derived. So now we have 2 equations and 2 variables, so we can solve it very easily, right? So just make the coefficient equal for 1 coefficient and then we are good to go. Okay, so here I'm just multiplying the equation number 1 with 3, equation number 2 with 4. Okay, so now I can see that the coefficient of A is equal, so I can cancel out this becomes 210, B is equal to 14, that means B is nothing but equal to 6, right? Now if B is equal to 6, then what is the value of A? A is equal to 1 upon 25, right? So I can say that yes, here A is equal to x plus y and B is equal to x minus y. Alright. Okay, yeah, clear. Okay, ठीक है. Alright. So this is A is equal to 1 upon 25, so I can write it 25, and B is equal to 1 upon 15, which I can write directly 15, right? So now I have the value of A and B. Perfect. So now what I can do, I can just easily find out the value of x and y, because x plus y is equal to 25 and x minus y is equal to 15. So I can add these both the terms, it becomes twice of x is equal to 40, that is x is equal to 20. So this is what they are asking, that find the speed of boat in still water. So the speed of boat in still water is x. The value of x is 20. So the answer is 20 kmph, kilometer per hour. Perfect. All right. The question is done. Now let's move to the next one. Okay, perfect. This is your next question, my dear student. The next question is saying that xy is equal to xy upon x plus y is equal to 6 upon 5 and xy upon x minus y is equal to 6, and choose the value of 3x minus 2y. Alright, so some calculation is there, nothing else. Okay, rest question is very easy. Okay, so calculation is there, so let me show you the calculations here. So basically, students, what I am doing, the first thing is given that xy, wait a second. Yeah. So the first thing is given that xy over x plus y is nothing but equals to 6 over 5, right? So I can do the cross multiplication here. It becomes 6x plus 6y is equal to 5xy, which is written here, right? Or from the second one, from the second relation, I can say that this is xy over x minus y is equal to 6. So again, I can do the cross multiplication. So it becomes 6x minus 6y is equal to xy, right? 6x minus 6y is equal to xy. Now we have two equations and two variables. I can solve it very easily, right? So just add both the equations. This will get cancelled out. 6 plus 6 is 12x is equal to 5xy plus xy is equal to 6xy. That means x and x will get cancelled out here. So x and x will get cancelled out here. So I can say that this is 12 is equal to 6y. That means y is nothing but equal to 2 here. Right. Now I have the value of y. So I can put the value of y in any of equation. Right. Okay. So here I am putting the value of y. Okay. In the equation number 2. So it becomes 6x minus 12 is equal to 2x. That means now I can take the 2x in this direction and 12 in the RHS part. So it becomes 4x is equal to 12, then the x is equal to 3. Alright, now I have the value of x and y, so I can easily find out the value of 3x minus 2y, which is 3 into 3 minus 2 into 2, right? That is 9 minus 4, which is equal to 5. So 5 is the right answer, option C. Perfect. Now let's move to the next question. Alright, so what is the next question basically saying? The next question is quite lengthy to solve, okay? And this question you can see almost in all competitive exams, in NSTSE, or I can say in the PRMO, or I can say in the Olympiad. You can see this question everywhere, even in NTSE also. Okay. Alright, so let me try to solve this question. This is very, very, very important question. If the angle of elevation of a cloud from a point h meter above a lake is alpha. Alright, so let me show the diagram here first. Okay, so the question is saying that if the angle of elevation of a cloud from a point h meter above a lake. So let's suppose this is the lake, right? Just a second. Okay, so this is the lake here, right? And there is a point O. There is a point O which is h meter above the lake, right? So let's suppose the bottom point is G and this point is O, okay? And here from the point O, I am observing the angle of elevation of the cloud, okay? And let's suppose this C is the cloud, right? C is the cloud, and from the cloud, the angle of elevation is alpha, right? This is the base, and the angle of elevation is alpha. Perfect. This is given. and the angle of diffraction of its reflection in the lake is beta. Okay, so there is a reflection of the cloud also there in the lake, and let's suppose the angle, so the angle of reflection, the angle is beta, right, as it is given in the question. So what I'm doing here, I'm just creating a diagram as the given information in the question. Now, question is asking that what is the distance of the cloud from the point of observation. So this is the point of observation and this is the cloud. That means in the question they are asking the length of OC, right? In the question, basically they are asking the length of OC, nothing else. Clear? So here I have to find the length of OC in the question, and for this 4 options are given. Okay, just try to understand this question very carefully, because this question you have in your boards also and you have in all competitive exams. Okay, perfect. So I given the names to the all the points. So this is O. Let's suppose this is D. The height H is given. Alpha and beta angles are given. And let's suppose this side OE is X. Let's suppose this side OE is nothing but equal to X, right? Okay, perfect. Now let's suppose this point is E and this point is A. Okay. Let me give names to all the points. And this point, let's suppose this point is C. Perfect. Okay. Now my dear students, let's suppose that this length, the length of AC, right? The length of AC is H. Okay. And there is a reflection in the lake for the cloud, right? So obviously, if the height from the base of the cloud is H, then the reflection will be on the same length, right? The reflection will be in the same depth. If that means if AC is H, then AD will also be H. Okay, this concept I think you have studied in the physics. Okay, now my dear students, okay, this is done. Okay, this is H and this is also H, capital H, and this length is a small h I'm taking. Okay, so if this is a length is a small h, if OG is a small h, then what about the CE, right? So CE is capital H minus a small h, right? So AC is capital H and AE is small h. So what about the CE? It is capital H minus small h, right? Perfect. Now, students, what about the ED then? ED. Okay. So basically, AD is capital H and AE is small h. So ED is capital H plus small h. Right? So these are some small concepts I think we can see here in the diagram. Okay, diagram is clear now. Now let me start the question solving here. Okay, so students, in the question, as you can see that if I'm taking triangle OCE, right? In triangle OCE, okay, what I have in triangle OCE? In OCE, as I can see that according to the concept of trigonometry, the OE over the CE over OE. Wait a second, let me erase this. Yes, the CE over OE is nothing but equals to tan alpha, because we know that according to the yes. So tan alpha is what? PBP upon HHB, right? So the value of tan theta is perpendicular upon base, right? So what is the perpendicular here? CE. And what is the base here? It is OE, correct? So now, what is the length of CE? It is capital H minus small h. It is capital H minus small h. And what is the length of OE? It is X, which is equal to tan alpha here, right? So I can say that capital H minus small h is equals to X tan alpha. Or I can say capital H is nothing but equals to X tan alpha plus small h, right? This is your equation. Capital H is equals to small h plus X tan alpha. This is my equation number 1, right? Now I have my first equation with me. Clear? Now let me try to solve the second equation similarly. Okay, for this I am just erasing this part. Okay, now I have first equation. Okay, let me erase everything. Perfect. So here my first equation is nothing but capital H is equals to small h plus x tan alpha. Right now I know that where I get the equation. Now students, similarly let's take the triangle ODE. Okay, let's take the triangle ODE, that means the lower one. Okay, so in triangle ODE I can see some similar concept here, right? That in triangle ODE basically ED over if I look at the triangle, this is OE, which is equal to tan theta, right? This angle is tan theta, so I'm just applying the same thing here, right? So it becomes capital H plus small h over x is equal to tan theta, right? That means capital H plus small h is equal to x tan theta, or I can say capital H is nothing but x tan theta minus h. This is your equation number 2. Perfect. Now, in the equation number 1 and equation number 2, I have the same value. So, capital H, right? So, I can say that I can equate both the equations, right? So, let me equate the equation number 1 and equation number 2. Let me erase this all part. So, in the equation number 1 and equation number 2, I have the value of capital H. So, let me equate these two things, right? So, it becomes H plus X tan alpha is equal to X tan beta minus h, right? Perfect. So if I transfer the h here and the x tan alpha here, then it becomes h plus h, it becomes 2h is equals to x tan beta minus x tan alpha, right? So twice of h is equals to, if I take the x as common, it becomes tan beta minus tan alpha, right? So the value of x is nothing but, my dear students, is twice of h upon tan beta minus tan alpha. Alright, so now I have this value, right? Now I have this value x. Perfect. And to find the value of OC, now I need the value of capital H minus small h only. Right? So just note down this result. Okay. And let me proceed with the triangle OCE again. Okay. Perfect. And I'm erasing this all. Okay. Because now you have your result. So I'm erasing this all. So now students, in the triangle OCE, you have one more thing that, wait a second. Yeah. Now you have one more result that OC over OE is equal to sec alpha, right? OC over OE is equal to sec alpha, because according to the PBP upon HHB, the sec alpha is hypotenuse upon base. So hypotenuse is OC and base is OE, right? Why I am taking sec alpha? Only because I need the value of OC and I have the value of OE. That's why I am taking here sec alpha. Perfect. Alright. Now OC is nothing but OE sec alpha, right? Okay, so OC is equal to, now I have the value of OE which I can put here. This is twice of H, sec alpha will remain same, and in the denominator I have tan beta minus tan alpha, right? So I can say that the value of OC is nothing but 2h sec alpha upon tan beta minus tan alpha, 2h sec alpha upon tan beta minus tan alpha meters. That is, yes, option D is your right answer. Perfect. So basically what I'm doing, I'm just taking, deriving the formula of tan alpha from here, tan alpha from here. This is the second thing. Then I'm getting the value of H. I'm equating the value of H. There I can get the value of OE. Then I'm putting the value of OE in my final thing. That's it. This is what you have to do in this question. Now let me represent the detailed solution for this given question. Okay. Perfect. So this question is done. Now let me proceed with the next one. Okay. So in the next question, what is given and what they are asking, the given thing is that choose the area of shaded region. Okay. So one circle is given here and some area is shaded and some area is not shaded. What I have to do, I have to just find out the area of the shaded region. Okay. And to find the area of shaded region, basically what I can do here, right? So I can just find out the area of the circle, right? And I can subtract the area of this rectangle from the area of circle. Clear? Then I can get the area of the shaded region. Perfect. But to find the area of circle is pi r square, but I don't have the value of pi. Correct? But one thing I can do, I can just make a diagonal here, and this diagonal is what? This diagonal is nothing but the diameter of the circle, my dear students, right? So this is the diameter of the circle. So I can say that diameter is nothing but equals to square root of 14 square plus 10.5 square, right? Which is equals to square root of 306.25, right? So if I do the square root of this, then this is 17.5 centimeter. So this is 17.5 centimeter. That means the radius is 17.5 divided by 2. Yeah. Now I can easily find out the area of shaded region. Okay, because the area of rectangle I can easily find out. Okay, there is no issue. So this is pi r square minus L into B, right? This I can write. The area of circle is pi r square and the area of rectangle is L into B. Okay, so this is pi r square, that means pi into 17.5 divided by 2 whole square minus L into B, that means 10.5 multiplied by 40. Right? Now, my dear students, you have some simple calculation and you can get your answer. Perfect. So, yes, this is a simple calculation and the answer is 93.625 centimeters square. That means, yes, option A is the right answer. Perfect. This question is also done. Now, let's move to the next one. So, in the next question, what they are saying, basically this question looks very much horrible because we have to find out the value of sine 12 theta, sine to the power 12 theta plus sine to the power 10 theta, sine to the power 8 theta, sine to the power 6 theta, and they are looking very much horrible. But trust me, students, they are not horrible. Okay. All right. So, all right, let me proceed with the given equation. So, the given equation is nothing but cos squared theta plus cos theta is equal to 1, right? This is my given equation, right? Okay. So, as we know that this is cos squared theta plus, okay, perfect, fine. Okay, so here one thing I can say that cos theta is nothing but equal to 1 minus cos squared theta. Right, 1 minus cos square theta and 1 minus cos square theta is what, student? This is sin square theta. That is sin square theta is nothing but equal to cos theta. Perfect. Okay, so now my given equation is this. Sin 12 theta plus 3 sin 10 theta plus 3 sin 8 theta plus sin 6 theta. This is my given equation, right? So sin 12 theta, can I write it sin to the power 4 theta whole cube? Yes, I can write it. Perfect. Similarly, this what I can write? This I can write sin to the power 8 theta into sin square theta. I can write it. Right. Plus similarly, this is sin to the power 4 theta and cos to the power 4 theta. I can write it. And this is sin square theta whole cube. This I can write. Perfect. So now, my dear students, as you can see, if you see the equation very carefully, then this is nothing but sin to the power 4 theta plus sin square theta whole square, right? This is sin 4 theta plus sin square theta whole square, right? So sin 4 theta, I can write cos square theta. Okay, because here you can see cos theta is equal to sin square theta. So this I can write cos square theta and this I can write cos theta whole cube, right? And cos square theta plus cos theta is with given equals to 1 in the question. So I can write the value of 1 cube is equal to 1. So yes, 1 is the right answer. Question is looking very much horrible, but trust me, this question is not horrible. Perfect. Alright, so this is the answer for the given question. Perfect, this question is also done. Now let me proceed with the next question, my dear students. Alright, this is your next question. So in the next question, basically what they are saying that the diameter is given for the sphere. Okay, so the diameter of a copper sphere is 18 centimeters. It is recast a wire of diameter 0.2 centimeter. Then what is the length of the wire? So basically one thing is given that volume of the wire is equal to volume of sphere, right? Okay, so first of all, the first thing when you see this question, what you will do, just write the result which is given in the question. Okay, so one thing is given that the diameter of the copper sphere is 18 centimeter and we are recasting it to the diameter of 0.2 centimeter. So it means simple that the volume of the given wire is equal to the volume of the sphere, right? Correct? Alright. So wire, the volume of wire is pi r square h, it is pi r square h, and this is 4 by 3 pi r cube, right? The volume of the sphere is 4 by 3 pi r cube. Alright, so pi is 22 by 7. This is constant, or I can say one thing that pi and pi will get cancelled. Okay, so diameter is given equals to 0.2 centimeter. It means the radius is 0.1 centimeter, right? So this is 0.1 whole square into height is given. Height is given not. Height is not given. So this is 4 by 3 height. So the length is basically they are asking for, right? And this is again 0.1 whole cube, right? So now, my dear students, you have just simple calculation. You can do the calculation part by your own. Okay, so here is the detailed solution for this given question. Perfect. So it is very simple to find out the value of h, and that's it. You will have your answer. So basically, you will get your answer in the centimeter, right? So in the question, you can make one mistake. What is the mistake? That yes, this is your answer. You get your answer and you saw that yeah, this is my answer, and you will find it in the option, and somehow you can find it in the option, right? So you will take the answer and that's it. Okay. But my dear students, here you can see that all the measurements are given into the centimeter, right? But in the answer, all the measurements are given into the kilometer. So what you have to do, you have to just convert the centimeter into the kilometer. Then only you can pick your answer. Perfect. Alright, question is that a play field of length 100 meter and breadth 60 meter respectively has an footpath all around on the outside. Okay, so as we can see that according to the given question, first of all we have a field, right? And the length or the breadth of the field are given. Okay, so let me draw it. Alright, so let's suppose this is the field and footpath all around the outside. Okay, so all around the outside we have a footpath. Alright, so let's suppose this is your footpath. Okay, if the area of the footpath is 3/5 of the area of play field, then what is the width of the path? Okay, so we have to find out this width here, right? We have to find out this width of the path here. Perfect. Nice question. Okay, alright. So let's suppose that this is x. Okay, let's suppose this is x. If this is x, this is also x, this is also x, and this is also x. Okay, because the length, the area of the path is equivalent. Okay, in each side. Alright. So in this case, students, we can see one thing that the measurement for the rectangular field is given, right? It is 100 meter and 60 meter. So what is the area of rectangle? Area of rectangle. Area of rectangle is nothing but length into breadth. That means it is 100 multiplied by 60. Correct. Now it is given that the area of the footpath is 3/5 of the area of play field, right? So we can say that area of path is nothing but equals to 3/5 multiplied by 100 multiplied by 60, right? Which is nothing but 3600 meter square. Perfect. This is also done. Alright. Now I have to find the width of the path. Okay, width of the path. So including the path. Okay, now what I'm doing, I'm just trying to find the area of the field, including the path. Right. So including the path, the total area will be what? This is x. This is x. So let's suppose this is x. This is x. So it is 2x. That means it is increasing 2x in the length and 2x in the breadth. Right. So the area becomes 100 plus 2x multiplied by 60 plus 2x, right? That means this area is 6,000, right? This area is 6,000 and this is 3600. So this is 6,000 plus 3600, right? It is what? It is the area of the rectangular field and the area of path. So area of path is 3600 and area of rectangle is 6,000. Okay. So I can say that this is okay. So if I open these two brackets, if I multiply these two brackets, it becomes 6,000 plus 120 plus 200x plus 4x square, which is equals to 6000 plus 3600. So 6000 and 6000, it will get cancelled out here, right? So it becomes 4x square plus 320x is equals to 3600, right? Which is a quadratic equation, right? And I can simplify it a little bit more. So it becomes x square plus this becomes ADX, and this I can write minus 3600. Oh, sorry, this is 900 now. So this is 900 is equal to 0. Okay, so now students, I have my quadratic equation and I can solve this quadratic equation very well, right? Okay, so let me try to solve this quadratic equation, because with the help of this quadratic equation, I can get the value of x, right? Perfect. So I can use the middle term splitting method. This becomes x square plus 90x minus 10x minus 900 is equal to 0. That means this is x into x plus 90. Here I can take minus 10 as common. So it becomes x plus 90 again is equal to 0. That means x minus 10 is a factor and x plus 90 is another factor. So here I can get two values of x. The first value is 10 and the second value is minus 90. Okay, so basically negative terms are not allowed in the length and breadth. So I can say that the correct value for x is nothing but equal to 10. Perfect. All right. Now let me show you the correct detailed explanation for this question. So here, students, you can see all the calculations, right? And the correct answer is 10 meter. Option C is your right answer. Perfect. Now let's move to the next question. The next question is that choose the zero of all, right? So in this case, we have a equation and I have to find out the zeros for this equation. So the question is quite logical and not very much easy. Okay, so just stay focused on this question. So here, students, my expression is x cube minus 9x square minus 69x plus 5, right? This is my expression. Now, how can I solve this? Okay, so according to the given data, I can see that alpha into beta into gamma is what? It is minus d by a, right? According to my concept, the multiplication of all the three roots is nothing but equal to minus d by a. So minus d by a is minus 5 by 1, which I can write minus 5. Correct? Alright. So minus 5 is basically the multiplication of all the roots. So let me try to put minus 5 in the given equation. So p of minus 5, let's suppose this is equal to p of x. Okay, so here I am doing what? Here I am just putting the value of x is equal to minus 5. Because if it is a quadratic equation, then we have so many methods to solve this. We have the middle term splitting method, we have the quadratic formula. But in the cubic equation, this is quite difficult, right? Okay, so p of minus 5 I'm putting in the equation and it becomes minus 5 whole cube minus 9 minus 5 whole square minus 69 into minus 5 plus 5. Okay, let me try to solve this. So this becomes minus 125 minus 225 plus 345 plus 5. Alright, this is equal to 0. Yeah, so we can say that yes, x is equal to minus 5 is a factor of px, right? X is equal to minus 5. This is a 0. Sorry, this is a 0, not factor. X plus 5 is a factor, right? So, yes, we can say that x is equal to minus 5 is a 0 for the given cubic equation. Perfect. Alright, this is done. Now, 1, 0 now I have with me, but this is a cubic equation, and in cubic equation we have in total 3 zeros, right? So, let me try to find out the remaining 3 zeros. Okay, so as I told you that x is equal to minus 5 is a 0 of the given cubic equation. So in this case, x plus 5 is a factor of the given equation, right? Now let me try to divide the given expression x cube minus 9x square minus 69x plus 5 with x plus 5, okay? So that we can get one quadratic equation. So the remaining two roots we can find out with the help of the quadratic equation. That's it. This is the idea. Okay. Alright, so let me try to divide it in x square. Okay, so I can take x square first. So it becomes x cube plus 5x square minus, so it becomes 0, and this becomes minus 14x square, right? because minus 9 and minus 5 becomes minus 14. Minus 69x plus 5. Correct. Now the next thing is I can take minus 14x, right? So it becomes minus 14x square, and this becomes plus minus minus 70x. Okay, perfect. So this becomes plus, this becomes plus. Okay, sign change basically, because I'm subtracting the things. That's why I'm doing the sign change. Okay, so 70 minus 69 is only x. Okay, so this is x plus 5, so I can take 1, so x plus 5, and the remainder is 0. Okay, so my required quadratic equation now is x square minus 14x plus 1. Okay, so for this, actually for this equation, if I look at the equation, then I can see that yeah, with the middle term splitting method, it is quite difficult to solve it. Okay, so I can use my thumb mark. I can say I can use the quadratic formula for this. Okay, so the quadratic formula is x is equal to minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Okay, this is quadratic formula or Sri Dharacharya formula, because a great Indian mathematician Sri Dharacharya derived this formula. Okay, so here a, b, c are nothing but equal to the coefficient of x square, x, and the constant of. So let me put the value here. Minus 3, that means minus 14. So I can directly put it plus 14, right? To save my time basically. So this is b square, that means 14 square, which is 196. Minus 4 into a is what? It is 1. And c is also 1, so it remains only 4. Okay. 2 into a is 1. So 2 into 1 is 1. Okay. Perfect. So x is what? It is 14 plus minus 196 minus 4 is what? 196 minus 4 is 192. Okay, 192. I can write 64 multiplied by 3. Right? 64 multiplied by 3. Why I am writing it? Because 64 is a complete square number, so I can take it outside. So this is 14 plus minus, this becomes 8 root 3 by 2. Okay. Okay, so this I can solve further. Okay, I'm writing the final result here, okay, because here I don't have any space. So now I have the two roots with me, which is 7 plus minus 4 root 3. That means the first root is 7 plus 4 root 3, and the second one is 7 minus 4 root 3, right? So now I have my all the factors. The first one, the two are big, and the third one is x equals to minus 5. So only option C I can match with my factor. Okay, perfect. So now I have all the zeros with me, students, and this is the detailed explanation for this question. Perfect. This question is also done. Now let me proceed with the next one. All right. So this is the next question. All right. And in the next question, I can see some geometry. So in the next question, they are asking that the given figure shows two. Okay, shows two identical circles. All right. This is the circle 1 and this is the circle 2. Perfect. Inside a rectangle is also there. Find the shaded area of the figure. So I have to find the shaded area of the figure. Okay, perfect. So my dear students, here in the figure, one measurement is given. This is equal to 80 centimeter, right? And let me give some names. Okay, let's suppose this is A, right? And okay, let me do one thing. Let me draw one radius of the circle. Okay, this is the radius of the circle. And if this is the radius of the circle, then this angle is obviously 90 degrees, right? This angle is obviously equal to 90 degrees. So let's suppose this is A, this is B. Let's suppose this, I'm giving the name B, and it is intersecting this line also. So let's suppose this is C, okay, and this one is D, and this one is E. I think this is sufficient because I am going to take this small triangle here. Okay, so now students, in triangle ABC, you can see the triangle ABC, this small triangle, right? And triangle EDC, you can see this is E, this is D, and this is C, right? So these two triangles I am taking here, EDC. All right. So students, my dear students, as you can see that these two triangles are congruent to each other, right? By angle side angle, correct? Because these two angles are equal. Angle CAB is equal to angle CED, right? These two angles are equal to each other because these two circles are identical. So angle CAB is equal to angle CEND, right? Because as we can see that we have two parallel lines here and they are making a Z. So yes, these two angles are equal. And side AB is equal to side DB, right? Side AD is equal to side DE. Yes, I can say that also. Okay. So, and one more thing, that angle B is 90 degrees and similarly angle D is also equal to 90 degrees. So I can say that angle, side, angle property, these two angles are congruent to each other. Perfect. Now, if these two triangles are congruent to each other, then I can say that the area for both the triangles is equal to each other, right? That means the area of triangle EDC is equal to the area of triangle EDC, because if they are congruent, that means they overlap each other. If they overlap each other, that means yes, the area is equal. Perfect. Now here I am taking a quadrant ABD. Okay, I am taking a quadrant ABD. That means this small one, this small square basically I can say. So the small quadrant ABD, the area is 1 upon 4 pi r square, right? 1 upon 4 pi r square. The area of a complete circle is pi r square. So if I am taking only a quadrant, that is the 1/4, the area is 1 upon 4 pi r square. So this is 1 upon 4, pi is 3.14 and radius I can say this is 20, right? For the quadrant, that means the 1/4 of 80, which is 20, right? So this is 20, alright. So I can say that yes, this is, okay, so the total area, if I am taking the total area, then it will be 4 multiplied by 1 by 4 multiplied by 3.14, this I can write 400, okay? So which is equal to 1256. That means some calculation is there, yes, I can see, but the question is quite logical and a very good example of a very good question. Perfect. That's nice. Now, let's move to the next question, my dear students. Okay, so the next question is quite interesting. Okay, because some images are here. Okay, so Girish writes down the sum of the squares of two numbers. Perfect. Unfortunately, some ink has run out. Oh my gosh. See below statement. Yeah, this ink is here. And therefore, we cannot read all the digits. What is the unit digit in the first number? What is the unit digit in the first number? I have to find out this unit digit here. Right? So this is 2, 3. The number is missing. Whole square plus 1. This number is again missing. This is 2. Oh, this is missing. Okay. This is whole square is equal to 1059229. Perfect. This is here. This is it. This is the thing, right? Okay. So now, students, I have to find the unit digit in the first number. And one more thing I can see here that this is given equal to 9. Right? This is given equal to 9. So I am multiplying a number with 2 and I am getting 9 here. Okay. So what it should be? What it should be? Yeah. Alright. So okay, so alright, and I am doing the square also, right? I am doing the square for this number also, and I am doing the square for this number also, right? So the square of 2 is what? The square of 2 is 4, right? The square of 2 is 4. Okay, now which number should I take here so that the sum would be 9? Okay, they are talking about the unit digits. So here I am taking only the unit digits, right? Because whenever I do the square, only this unit number affects only the unit number. When I do the square, this the only unit digits affect this unit number, and the sum is also, and for the sum it is also same, right? Okay, so here I have 4, here I have 9, that means yes, it should be 5. So 5 plus 4, it is 9, right? So yes, and whenever I do the square of 5, we always get a 5 in the unit digit. So I can say that yes, option A is the right answer. The question is quite simple, my dear students, right? Okay, so this is the explanation for this question. Alright, A is right answer. The next question is also quite simple, my dear students. So in the next question, what they are saying? They are asking that Rabi balance a broom at its center of mass. Okay, center of mass Ravi is a person and who is balancing the broom at its center of mass. He then saws the broom into two parts through its center of mass. When the weight each part on a scale, each part is the most weight. The short broom part, the long broom part, or either part as both weight is same, or we cannot determine this. Okay, so what should be the answer? Okay, so for this, basically this problem belongs to the physics. Okay, so let me present one diagram here. Let's suppose there are there is a stick, and in this stick, let's suppose his name is Ravi. Okay, and her name is Tanya. Okay, so two persons are sitting here. Okay, and they are balancing their mass at this point. Okay, and let's suppose this distance is B and this distance is B, right, on the same distance. Okay, so let's suppose the mass is WT and her mass is WT. So WT into D, that is the weight into the distance, and this is again weight into the distance. Okay, so I can say that the yes, short broom part is heavier, right? Short broom part should be heavier. It balances the long handle just as kid of unequal weight can be balanced on a seesaw when the heavier kid sits closer to the fulcrum. Both the balanced broom and seesaw are evidence of equal and opposite torque, not equal weight. Okay, so these things you must study in the physics, right? So this question is quite familiar, quite logical with the physics. Perfect. The next one. Okay, so the next question is also very good question because this question belongs to the yes, this question is basically a puzzle, right, which you have to solve. Perfect. So in this question, they are saying that study the following information carefully and answer the questions given below uh, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G belong to three different departments. Okay, so 7 persons are given, and the name of the persons are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? And they belong to three different departments. The first department is CISF, the second one is BSF, and the third one is CRPF, right? These all departments are very well represented. Now, with at least two of them of any of these departments, right? That means at least 2 persons should be there in one department. Okay. Okay. So each of them has a favorite color: purple, blue, red, black, pink, and green, and violet. So 7 different colors are given, and it is must that in one department 2 persons should be there. That means in two departments, two persons will be there, and in one department 3 persons should be there. That's how we can set the 7 persons, right? So now some conditions are given. Each of them has favorite color. All right. So B works in BSF with E. Okay. So one thing is given that B and E both work in the BSF. Okay. So let me show you the table for the better understanding. Okay. This is how you can create a table, my dear students. You can take the name of persons A, B, C, D, E, F, G. These are the departments: CISF, BSF, CRPF, and this is the color. All 7 colors are there. Okay. So what you have to do? You have to just tick or do cross according to the given condition. Okay. Alright. So let me try to fulfill this table for you. So the first line is given that B works in BSF with E. That means B and E both work in BSF. B and E both works in BSF, so I am taking the BSF at equal, and for the E, BSF the equal sign, right? And one person works in only one department, so for the rest we have the cross there, correct? Similarly, for the next one, okay, okay. So E's favorite color is purple, so just tick on the purple color, tick with the E. Those who work in CISF do not like green and pink. Okay, so those who are working in CISF just mark cross with green and pink. Okay, so my dear students, with the cross and tick, I think you can solve this question very well, and then you can create a final table according to the color and the department of the person. Right now, the question is asking that whose favorite color is pink. So my dear students, whose favorite color is pink? Yeah, G, who works in CRPF department, right? And his favorite color is pink. Perfect. Alright, a very well and very satisfying question. The next one. Alright, so in the next question, what they are saying that in which option can a dot be added so that it then meets the same condition as in the question figure. Okay, so just look at the question figure very carefully because this question belongs to the dot equation, right? If you are preparing for NTSE, then you must know what is dot equation. So in this diagram, as we can see that this dot is inside the bigger circle, the smaller circle, and the square, right? But the smaller circle is outside. Perfect. Okay, so where we have a condition where we have a common portion for the square, the biggest circle in the middle one. Okay, so in the first one, we don't have any common portion, right? In the second one also, we don't have any common portion because these two are very much different. In the fourth one, again, the largest one and the middle one, so both circles are quite different, so we don't have, yes, in this we have a common portion, right? This common portion, there we can put the dot. Okay, so option C is the right answer. Perfect. Let me show you the next question. So in the next question, they are saying that shown below are two orthographic view of an object. Identify the correct top view of the given choices. Okay. So here we have to find out the top view. That is, whenever we are watching this these objects from the top, okay, then which would come? All right. So let me show you the correct answer for this question. Okay, so option B is the right answer, right? Because this line is tilted. Okay, the last line is tilted. In this, the line is not tilted. In this also, the line is not tilted. This line is tilted only in option B and option D, right? Now, the next one. Okay, all right. So this line is straight. Just see the difference only. Okay, all right. So this is different. Right? This is different between both the diagrams. So yes, I can say that this is correct, right? This one is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 4 and 5, I can see that this part is small and this part is bigger. So this part is small and this part is bigger. Perfect. Now in this part is small, but this part is very big. So I can say this is not right. Option B is the correct answer for this given question.
First question says, a conductor with a rectangular cross section has dimensions A into 2A into 4A as shown below. So here we have a rectangular conductor and its dimensions are A into 2A into 4A. I think it is visible. These are the dimensions. Resistance across AB is R1. So resistance across AB, we'll write here, is taken as R1. Resistance across CD is taken as R2. And resistance across EF, see this is EF, is taken as R3. Then we need to find that whether the three resistance are equal or whether we have to arrange them in sequence basically. So let's find out first. So we all know that R is equal to rho L upon A. That is, resistance is equal to resistivity into length divided by area, because resistance is the obstruction to the flow of charge and it is directly proportional to length but inversely proportional to area. So when we club this, it comes out to be the constant rho is used, which is called as resistivity, and the relation comes out to be this. So by using this formula, we can find the value of R1, R2 and R3, and then the clear picture will be in front of you that how we can arrange these resistance. So now let us find for AB. So AB, we know resistance is R1. So putting the value, that is rho is constant, so we know that for any material rho remains the same. Now here the material is same, so therefore the value of rho would be same, so we'll be using only rho. So rho length will be 4A and area in this case is 2A into A. So if you will solve for this, it will come out to be rho 4A 2A square, and it comes out to be 2 rho upon A. Now same way we need to find for R2. We know that CD is equal to R2. So if you will put the formula for this, so it will come out to be rho, length would be taken as A, and area will be taken as 4A into 2A, because we are finding across CD. We are finding across this part CD. So if you solve for this, it will come out to be rho by 8A. Same way if you find it for EF again, for like the resistance would be R3. You can put as rho into L will be taken as 2A, because we are finding across EF now, and area would be 4A into A. And if you solve for this, it will come out to be rho by 2A. Now you have these values. If you compare, you will find that option A would be wrong, option B would be wrong, option C would be wrong. Therefore, D is correct. That is, R1 resistance is more, and then comes R3, and later comes R2. So that means which option is correct, students, here? Option D is correct. So this way you have to solve for it. Next question says, a beam of light in air is incident upon the smooth surface on a piece of flint glass as shown. So here we have, we have two mediums, air and glass, and this is an incident beam making an angle of incidence that is 30 degrees. So if the reflected beam and the refracted beam are perpendicular to each other, so let's say this one is the reflected beam, because reflection means the bouncing of light in the same medium. Okay, and let's say this is the refracted beam, because here it is mentioned that they are perpendicular. Now if they are perpendicular, we know that angle of incidence is always equal to angle of reflection. So it comes out to be 30, and because it is perpendicular, we can say that it will be 60 degrees, because sum of both will come out to be 90 degrees. So this is your refracted ray and this is your reflected ray. Okay, now we need to find the index of refraction of the glass. We know that from Snell's law, that tells you that refractive index is equal to, or you can simply use the relation like this, n1 into sine theta 1 is equal to n2 into sine theta 2. Okay, now if you will put the values, it will come out to be here sine theta 1 can be written as sine 60 degree, because it is making an angle of sine 60 degree, and it comes out to be sine 30 degree, because it is making an angle of 30 degree. Then only you will be able to find the refractive index. Now putting the values, you will get as 1 by 2 into root 3 is equal to n2 into half, because sine 30 is half. So if you will solve for it, n2 will come out to be root 3. So out of the given option, A is incorrect, B is incorrect, D is incorrect, but C is correct option. So correct answer for this question will be option C. So this way you have to solve for it. Now here the question says, for a normal eye, the far point is at infinity and near point is at 25 centimeter in front of the eye. We know that far point is that is the extreme to which you can see. So that is infinity for a human eye, and near point is the closest distance, which is 25 centimeter in front of the eye. The cornea of the eye provides a converging power of about 40 diopter, and the least converging power of eye lens behind the cornea is 20 diopter. We need to find the range of accommodation. So I think you all know what is accommodation. It is basically the ability of eye lens to adjust its focal length so that the clear image is formed on retina that can be easily distinguished by plane. Now let's taking that into consideration, let's solve for it. Now if we wish to observe objects at infinity, I'll write here to observe objects at infinity. What we need, like the lens uses the least converging power. Lens uses the least converging power. So that means power in this case would be the 40 diopter plus least converging power of eye, that is 20, comes out to be 60 diopter. So that means if you will find the focal length using this power, it will come out to be 100 by P, because we know that power is equal to 100 by F in centimeters, so we can calculate F by putting that. So it comes out to be 100 by 60, and if you solve for it, it will come out to be 5 by 3 diopter. So basically it is the distance between the cornea, eye lens and the retina. So this is that focal length. Now to focus object near, we know that the object distance should be 25 centimeter and it is always negative. So we have written that it is minus 25. And we know that here this will act as V because this you need. So let's say 5 by 3 centimeter is your V. So we need to find the focal length now. So that will give us the range of the accommodation. So putting using the length formula, we know that 1 over f is equal to 1 by v minus 1 by u. So putting all values, you can write that, and solving for this you will get f as 1 by f would be 16 by 25, or f you can say will be equal to 25 by 16. So this gives you your focal length. Now we can find the power. So power is taken as 100 by f. We know that in centimeters. Now if you solve for it, you will get the answer as that it will come out to be 64 diopter. Now hence the range of accommodation. So total power of the lens, how we can find it out, that is 64 minus the converging power, that is 40. This comes out to be 24 diopter. So that means out of this the answer which would be right will be, which is closer to this, that is the range that is lying between 20 diopter to 24 diopter. So which option is correct here? Option B is correct. So I hope you got it, that first you need to see that whether we use the least converging power or not. You need to find the total power, then focal length, which will give you the distance actually. Near point is already given, V will be this, we'll find the focal length. And when you'll find the focal length, using that you can find the power, and that will give you the correct range of the accommodation of normal eye. Next question says, a ray of light strikes a silver surface inclined to another one at angle 90 degree. So here in this case you have you can see that this is mirror surface, and here the ray of light strikes, you can see that, and it is striking at an angle 90 degree. We need to find that when the reflected ray will turn through. Now you should know about it that whenever any ray falls normal on the surface, like if we consider this surface and some ray is falling normal to it, it will retrace its path. It will retrace its path. That means it will move through the same path. Now if it will move through the same path, then obviously the angle of reflection would be 0, because angle of let's say this is incident, this is point of incidence, this is your reflected ray, this is your normal. So this comes out to be your angle of incidence and angle of reflection. But here in this case it will retrace, therefore the angle would be 0 degree. So for this, option A will be the right answer. Now the question says, two pieces of soft iron PQ and RS are placed inside a solenoid. They become magnetized by the current in the solenoid. So which poles are found at P, Q, R and S? So here we have the picture, and the two pieces of soft iron already given, that is PQ, you can see that, and this is RS. Okay. Now they become magnetized by the current in the solenoid. So which poles are found at P, Q, R, S? Now let me tell you, I hope you know what is solenoid. Basically if you have some soft iron piece and copper turnings are wound over it, that becomes a solenoid. And when you pass current through it, it starts behaving like a bar magnet. That is, one side behave as a north pole and other starts behaving as a south pole. Now here in this case we have two rods, PQ and RS, and we need to find the poles at P, Q, R and S. So let me tell you here, we will be finding by using the right hand grip rule. We will be finding it by using the right hand grip rule. Now right hand grip rule tell you that if you hold any conductor in your right hand in such a way that thumbs point in the direction of current, then the direction in which your finger curls, like the way they are curling, give you the direction of the magnetic field. Okay, so here basically if you use this rule, then you can find it out that in the given figure P is acting as a north pole and Q is acting as a south pole. Same way R is acting as a north pole and S is acting as a south pole. So basically here the option that will be correct would be option D. That is, P will act as a north pole and Q will act as a south, and R will act as a north pole and S again act as a south pole. So here in this case option B is correct. Next question. Long-sighted people who have lost their spectacles can still read a book by looking through a small hole in a sheet of paper because. Now long-sighted people, we say that they can they can look far distance, but when they look closer to their eye, they are not able to, like their retina is not able to make a proper image. Okay, so that is why we call them as long-sightedness, like they suffer from disease long-sightedness. Now here it is said that if they have lost their spectacles and still they try to look from a small hole, which is 3 to 4 hole from a sheet of paper, why they can look from it. Now let me tell you, to look closer, eyelids should be relaxed. Eyelids should be relaxed, because if eyelids is relaxed, then only the focal length decreases, effectively. So now in this case, they are able to see it because they are seeing it through a small hole. So they are holding closer to them. So that is the reason at that time their eye lens is relaxed, due to which their focal length increases. So now out of this, option A says fine hole produces an image of the letters that longer. No. In doing so, the distance of object is increased. No, distance is not increasing. In doing so, the focal length of eye lens is decreased. True. So which option is correct? Option C is correct. Next question says, a luminous object is placed 20 cm from the surface of convex mirror and a plane mirror is set so that virtual images formed in the two mirrors coincide. If plane mirror is at distance of 12 cm from the object, the focal length of the convex mirror is. Now here in this question, read it carefully. A luminous object is placed at 20 cm from the surface of convex mirror. Okay, and plane mirror is said to form virtual images formed in the two mirrors, they coincide. Like the images which are getting formed, they are coinciding. So if plane mirror is at the distance of 12 cm, then we need to find the focal length here. Now here in this case, object distance, that is U, is equal to minus 20 cm. So object distance is this, because luminous object is placed. Now here in this case, V would be 12 plus 12 minus 20, because see, it is far from 20, like from it by 20 centimeter, and plane mirror and convex plane mirror is present in middle, and the distance is 12. So V comes out to be, let's say 4 centimeter. So we need to find the distance like this. Now that means if you use the formula, that is mirror formula now, which is 1 by F is equal to 1 by V over 1 by U. If you will put the values here, I am directly changing the sign. So F comes out to be 5 centimeter. It comes out to be 1 by 5. We can take it as 5. So therefore the correct answer here in this case will be option A is the right answer. Now the question says, an electric cable of copper has just one wire of radius 9 mm. So it is given that electric cable of copper has just one wire of radius 9 mm. We can write its radius in centimeter, converting into 9 into 10 raised to power minus 3. Okay. So if its resistance is 5 ohm, so this is radius, let's say its resistance is 5 ohm. So this single copper wire of cable is replaced by 6 different well insulated copper wires now. So it is replaced by another wire, 6 wires, number of wires are 6, and their radius is 3 mm. That means 3 into 10 raised to power minus 3 centimeters. So the total resistance we need to find it out. Okay. So that means in this case, we know that, for example, if we consider for one wire, we know that R is equal to rho L upon A. We know this relation. So putting the value here, it will come out to be R is equal to rho L, and area is pi R square. So we can write pi, and R square means 9 into 10 raised to power minus 3 square. So this comes out to be, let's say, R. Now finding it for another wire, So we can write that for this, it comes out to be rho L upon A, putting the value, it comes out to be L, and area would be pi r square, that is 3 into 10 raised to power minus 3 square. Now if you will solve for this, it will come, putting the values, it will come out to be 5 ohm, because rho and rho, rho is same if the wire is same. Because wire is made up of copper only, therefore rho will remain same. Solving for this, you will get that it is equal to 45 ohms. It is equal to 45 ohms. Now if 6 such wires are used, so we can relate it this way, that and they are connected in parallel, it is also mentioned. So we can say that Rp is equal to R dash by 6. So that means it is 45 by 6, and it comes out to be 7.5 ohms if you solve for this. So therefore, here in this question, option which is correct is option A. So which answer is correct, students? Option A is correct. Next, which of the following shows the correct directions in which the current carrying wire will move when placed in a magnetic field? So options you can see here A, B, C, D. So basically current carrying wire is placed between the magnetic field. So how will it move? We know that like whenever a conductor is placed in a magnetic field, we can find the direction using Fleming's left hand rule. Now what is Fleming's left hand rule? That is, if you stretch your 3 fingers mutually perpendicular, forefinger, middle finger and thumb mutually perpendicular to each other this way, okay, then your forefinger gives the direction of magnetic field, this middle finger points in the direction of current, and this gives you the direction of motion. So if you apply this rule here, you will see that the motion will be as shown in option C. So which one is correct here? Option C is the correct answer. Next question. A ray diagram of refraction through prism is shown below. So here we have a diagram. We have a prism and a refraction is shown across it. So we need to identify the angle of prism and angle of deviation. Now let me tell you what is angle of prism first. Then only you will be able to find out that which out of them denotes the angle of prism. Angle of prism is basically the angle between two refracting surfaces. Angle between two refracting surfaces of prism. That means where the two surfaces meet basically. Now as this is prism BCD, you can see that this angle 1 denotes the angle of prism. Now talking about angle of deviation, it is actually an angle between the incident ray and the emergent ray. Now this is your incident ray and this is your emergent ray. So if you extend it here, so you can see that this angle shows the angle of deviation. That is angle 9 shows the deviation, angle of deviation. That is the angle between the incident and the emergent ray. So here the correct option is 1, 9. Not this, not this, not this, but option C. So option C is the correct answer here.
Now the question is, P is a metal and X is its alloy. P is a metal and X is its alloy. Given below are some properties of P and its alloy X. So which of these match correctly with P and X? So here a table is given and I think you understood the question, that here we have two things, one P as a metal and X is its alloy, means alloy of P metal. So here we are considering two properties, that is its melting point and strength. Basically we are comparing the melting point of metal P with its alloy and also the strength of metal P with its alloy. Now we need to pick the correct option which shows the correct match with P and X. Now before we move ahead, I would like to tell you, like when we talk about alloys, alloys are homogeneous mixture of two or more metals, or maybe it has a metal mixed with a non-metal, but a mixture is homogeneous. Now if we talk about alloys,
Alloys, they have a few properties which is in contrast to the metals. Like if I talk about melting point, what is melting point? Melting point is the temperature given to melt any substance. Temperature needed or given to a substance in order to melt it. And strength, that means how strong is the given substance. How strong or how weak is the given substance. Now if I compare melting point and strength of metal and its alloys, we have seen that melting point of alloys is generally low as compared to metals. But when we talk about its strength, strength of alloys is high. Strength of alloy is more in comparison to metals from which it is made. So basically the option where the melting point of alloy is low and strength of an alloy is melting point is low and strength is more would be the right answer. Or in terms of metal, we can say that that particular option is going to be correct where melting point of metal is high and strength of metal is comparatively low. So here in this question, the correct option would be C. We have to check all the options. Option A says that melting point of P is 35.5 and melting point of X is 48.5. And second one says 335.5 and 448.5. C says 530.5 and 448.5 and D says 53.5 and 30.5. So we know that in case of melting point, alloys they have low melting point. So that means here you can see that alloy has got low melting point in comparison to the metal. Same way we can look for its strength. So wherever in this C option also we can see that the melting point is low. Otherwise in both the cases we can be discarded because here it is showing that melting point is higher than alloy is higher than P. So that means correct option is out of C and D. Now let's look for the strength. Alloy strength is more. So that means which option is correct? Option C is correct. Because in this, the strength of X is more, that is alloy is more as compared to the metal, and also its melting point is low in comparison to the metal. So which answer is correct, Bache? Option C. Next question. Match the reactions in column 1 with the type of reactions in column 2. So here we have column 1 and column 2. So PQRS in P is burning of magnesium ribbon in air. Q says reaction of iron with copper sulfate solution, reaction of an acid with base and electrolysis of water. Now let me tell you about all these reactions, and in column 2 you can see that displacement, decomposition, synthesis and double displacement. Now what do we mean by chemical reaction? Chemical reaction is particularly a chemical change. That means where new substances formed, energy changes take place, and the new substance which is formed may or may not have properties similar to the reactants, because those new substances, they have their own identity. Okay. Now we have different kinds of chemical reaction. Let's take up first displacement reaction. Displacement reaction is something which takes place between an element and a compound. And for this reaction to occur, one which is present in an elemental form should be more reactive in comparison to the other present in compound. It can be B, it can be C. And if elemental form element is more reactive, then it will displace the less reactive and the reaction will take place. Now out of these, let me tell you that the reaction which involves displacement is Q, because it involves iron reacting with copper sulfate. And if you refer to reactivity series, iron is more reactive, therefore it will displace copper and react with sulfate ion and displace copper. So basically that means it matches with this. Okay, Q matches with 1. Okay, let's move on to next, decomposition. Another kind of reaction is decomposition. As the name suggests, decomposition means breakdown of something. Breakdown of something. So here a reactant is always a compound, and either by heating or in the presence of light or by passing current, it breaks down into its constituents. It breaks down into its constituents. Now out of this, let me tell you, S is a decomposition reaction, electrolysis of water. So water can be dissociated by passing electric current. I told you, either by heating or light by electric current we can separate it. So we get this. So that means S matches with 2. Okay. Moving on to next is synthesis. Synthesis can be called as a combination reaction also. And main identification property of this reaction is whatever you are mixing, it is going to form only single product. They will all mix it up and give rise to a single product. So out of this, P is a synthesis reaction, because P indicates magnesium burning in oxygen. So Mg and O2 are reacting, but we are getting a single compound form, that is MgO. So that means P matches with 3. Okay. Next is double displacement, can be called as double decomposition also. So double displacement reaction is a reaction which occurs between two compounds. It occurs between two compounds in which they mutually, see, you will write their valencies and they will mutually exchange their partners. A will combine with D and C will combine with B. So this is how the products are formed. And out of it, reaction of acid with base is a double displacement. Let's take some acid, let's say HCl. Let's take some base, let's say NaOH. We'll put their valencies and see they interchange their partners. We get H2O and Na combines with Cl, forming NaCl. So that means this thing R matches with 4. So an option which states 1, 2, 3 and 4 is going to be right answer, because P matches with 3. See, we have to follow the order. P matches with 3. Okay, we have this P with 3 and Q matches with 1. Okay, we'll go for this. And R matches with 4 and S matches with 2. So this one is the correct answer. So which answer is correct, students? Option B is correct. Next question. Which of the following is not an isomer of formula C5H12? Now let me tell you, C5H12 is pentane, because it follows the formula, that is CnH2n plus 2. See, if you put it 5, you will get this. So it is pentane. That means it's a member of alkane. And we know that when we draw isomers are basically those molecules which have same molecular formula, but they have different structures. This is what is an isomer. Okay. So if you draw isomer of pentane, these are basically chain isomers. So one is like you draw it 4 and 5 straight chain. This is called as normal pentane. Now you can make it little branch by moving this carbon to this place. Let's say it becomes isopentane now. Now we can compress it more, moving this to this place. So it will be something like this. That is called as neopentane. So out of these, one which is not the isomer, so this is an isomer because it is normal pentane. Even this is an isomer, isopentane. Even this is an isomer called as neopentane, but this is not an isomer of pentane. So that means which is the correct option for this question? That is option D. Next question. Household cleaning agents tend to be strong bases. The following graph shows the pH of some common household substances. So here we have a graph. So it is said that the household cleaning agents that we use, they are strong bases. Okay. So we have a graph where pH, of different household substances it is given. So we need to select that which substances can be used as household cleaning agents. Now before we go ahead, I would really like to tell you that pH is actually equal to logarithm of reciprocal of hydrogen ion concentration. And also we have got pH scale, which ranges from, its value ranges from 0 to 14 and midpoint is 7. So all those substances whose pH lies below 7, they are acidic in nature, and the ones which are having more than 7, they are said to be basics. Or we can say that all those bases which are soluble in water, we can call them as alkaline as well. Now if pH value is low, see pH value is low, then H ion concentration would be high in it. You need to remember. And substance would be more acidic. Same way, if pH concentration is high, that means H positive ion concentration is going to be low and it is less acidic, or you can say that it is basic in nature. So in this picture, all those bar graphs which have got big height or high value of pH will definitely denote the bases. So out of them you can see that this is the first one with highest bar, and second comes this. So that is why both of them would be strong bases, because their pH is more and H ion concentration is less, and they can be used as household cleaning agents. So option D is correct. So which option is correct, students? Option D is correct. Next question says, iron is formed in the blast furnace when iron 3 oxide decomposes at high temperature, reacts with added limestone, oxidized by a blast of hot air, or it is reduced by carbon monoxide. Now let me tell you, when we are performing metallurgy, now what is metallurgy? Metallurgy is the process of extracting metal from its ore. So when we do it, we follow 4 steps. First is concentration of ore. Second is oxidation of ore. Third is reduction of ore, and lastly we have refining. Okay, so when we carry out reduction, particularly in case of iron, we do it by using a reducing agent, and the reducing agent which is used is carbon in the form of coke, and this reduction takes place in a proper big furnace called as blast furnace. So it is something like this. So in blast furnace, what we do, basically coke is added from here and oxygen is passed from the bottom. So coke falls down, and along with coke, what do we add more? We add the ore also. Now carbon when falls, it combines with oxygen to form CO2. Now CO2 when rises up, it combines with more quantity of coke to form carbon monoxide, and then this carbon monoxide reacts with this, forming iron and forming CO2 again. So basically one which is used to reduce is carbon monoxide. So basically which one is correct, student, here? Option D is correct. It doesn't decompose at high temperature. It reacts, doesn't like B and C are also incorrect. D is correct. Next question. In order to find the electrical conductivity through an electrolyte, the following apparatus were set up as shown below along with the statements. So here we have statements, and here the picture is given. So we need to tell that which of the above statement is correct in response to this. So first look at this figure. See, we have got a beaker, then it is filled with NaOH solution. Okay, we have electrodes. These are electrodes because they will supply current in the solution and they are connected to a battery. This is bulb. It will glow only and only when the circuit gets completed and current flows. Switch is here on. That means all the connections are proper and current is switched on. So this is what is present, and here NaOH acts as an electrolyte. It acts as an electrolyte. Electrolyte is something which dissociates into ions on passing electric current. Same way NaOH is also able to dissociate on passing current, that is into Na positive and OH negative. So anything which can dissociates on passing current definitely possess ions, and that is a good conductor of electricity, because in it for carrying current, ions are present. Now here, do you think the current will flow? Yes, the current will flow because connections are proper, switches on. This is an electrolyte which can conduct current. Electrodes are properly dipped, are in connection with electrolyte. So everything is proper, so that means bulb will glow because NaOH is an electrolyte, it will dissociate to form ions, and also all the connections are proper. Now here first statement says bulb will not glow because electrolyte is not acidic. False. Bulb will glow in this case. Okay, and electrolyte is not an acid, it's a base because it is NaOH. Bulb will glow because NaOH is a strong base and provides iron also. Correct. Bulb will glow and NaOH is a strong base. See, it has OH and it gives ions also, that we discussed. Bulb will not glow because circuit is incomplete. No, circuit is completed. Bulb will not glow because it depends upon the type of the electrolytic solution. Wrong. So which statement is correct here? Option C. Option C, that means only option 2 is correct. Next question. Match the chemical equations in column 1 with the type of reaction shown in column 2. So here we have got a list of reactions, and in column 2 we have got name of reactions. So let me recall you about these reactions. Displacement reaction is something which happens between an element and a compound, where this A has to be more reactive in comparison to either of them, and if suppose we are comparing it with B, it will displace B and it will form AC and B will be displaced. Combination is the one where whatever things you are adding, they are simply added to form a single product. Okay. Decomposition is something where we have a compound and it breaks up into its constituents, and how it breaks up, either by heating or in presence of light or by passing electric current. Oxidation means addition of oxygen. Addition of oxygen, or we can say that removal of hydrogen or loss of electrons. Either of them can be used. Now double displacement is a reaction which happens between two compounds in which they mutually exchange their partners. Okay, this is what happens. Now it will be easy for you to see. Now here you can see that two reactants but only one product. Two reactants but only one product. So we will match it with Q. So one matches with Q. AgBr, one compound breaking down into its constituents. That means it is decomposition. Two matches with R. Okay. Third one, element and a compound displacing. So basically it's a displacement reaction. 3 matches with P. Fourth, metal, oxygen is added, it is oxidized. It is oxidized. So basically it is oxidation. 4 matches with S. And here you can see two compounds interchanging their partners. So basically it is double displacement. So 5 matches with T. So option which states QRPST sequence would be correct. QRPSNT. That means we got it right. Option B is correct. Next question. Structural formula of two compounds are shown below. Identify the similarities and dissimilarities between the two compounds. Now formula is this. Let's condense it. It is COOCH3. Whenever you get questions like this, try to condense them so that you can easily recognize them. So it is basically a member of ester and it is a member of carboxylic acid. So it is methyl ethanoate, this one, and this one is propanoic acid. Now what do you think is common between them? What do you think is common between them? Yes, they have molecular formula common, because we can write it as R2CO2, and same way here, see, we can write R2 and CO2. Okay, so basically they are having same molecular formula. And let's calculate their mass also. If you will calculate their mass, I hope you know how to calculate. So how many carbons? 1, 2, 3. 3 into 12 plus how many hydrogens? 3 and 3, 6. 6 hydrogens. Plus how many oxygen? 2. 2 into 16. So if you will solve for it, it will come out to be 74. And same way if you will solve for it, it will come out to be 74. So they have got same relative molecular mass. So basically which option is correct, students? Option B. Option A isn't correct because molecular formula is correct, but they are different types of compounds, so they'll show different reactions. C says structures and molecular formula. No, molecular formula is not a difference, and same way D is incorrect. So option B is correct. Next question. Which of the following is the correct order of increasing pH of the solutions given that all the solutions are of same concentration? Now, when we talk about pH, we know that pH is logarithm of hydrogen ion concentration. Okay. So, if pH value is more, because it is inversely proportional to H ions, so that means H ions would be less and substance would be acidic. And if pH value is less, that means H ion concentration, no, it is going to be basic, sorry. H ion concentration would be more. Therefore, when pH is less, H is more, H ions are more, that means it is acidic in nature. And when pH is 7, we say that it is neutral, equal number of H positive and OH negative. So now in this case, we have to arrange them. So we have got sulfuric acid, we have got HCl, we have got NaOH, and we have another option, calcium hydroxide. Only these 4 options are present in all the 4 A, B, C, D. Now out of this, which one do you think is more acidic? Obviously it will be more acidic. Why? Because one molecule will split to form 2 H positive ions. Okay, so comes H2SO4, and then comes HCl, because it is another acid, but it will give only 1 H ion per molecule. Then what comes? NaOH or calcium hydroxide. See, calcium hydroxide will give 2 hydroxide ions, and NaOH will give only 1 hydroxide ion. So what comes next? NaOH, and then your calcium hydroxide is going to be more alkaline. So option A is correct answer. So which option is correct, students? Option A. Next questions. Experiments were carried out to find out the reactivity of metals X, Y and Z in order of decreasing reactivity. The table given below shows the result. So experiment says, first experiment, does the metal liberates hydrogen on reaction with dilute HCl? So that means when we are reacting metal with dilute HCl, is it able to displace H or not? We know that as per reactivity series, all those metals which are more reactive will be able to displace HCl and liberate H2 gas, forming their chlorides. But all those metals which are below H, like copper, mercury, silver, gold, platinum, they will not liberate H2 gas because they are less reactive. Now here we can say that X liberates, that means X is more reactive than H. Z also liberates, so Z is also more reactive than H. But Y doesn't, so that means Y out of them is least reactive out of all 3. Least reactive. Now comes, is the metal oxide reduced by heating with carbon? So you have a metal oxide, now it is said you use C and it gets reduced. It gets reduced. So X gets reduced, Y gets reduced, but Z doesn't. So all those metals which are more reactive will not get reduced using carbon. So that means out of them most reactive would be Z, and after that comes X, and Y would be least reactive. It is going to be least reactive. So options are, you can see the options X, Z, Y. So option, we need to write most reactive to least reactive. So Y will be at last position. That means it will be out of A and X, and we know that X is out of them which is more reactive? Z is more reactive. So it comes option C. Option C. That is, Z is more reactive and Y is least reactive. Next question. Which of the following takes place during photochemical phase? We have options like a few name of the processes are given. Absorption of light, splitting of water and release of O2, ATP and NADPH formation. Now let me tell you, when we talk about photosynthesis is a process of formation, it is a process by which green plants prepare food. Green plants prepare food. Now, if we study the mechanism of photosynthesis, we see that it is divided into two phases. That is light phase or light mechanism, and the other one is the dark phase or dark mechanism or dark reaction. Now, during light phase, what all happens? First is, I'll tell you, it takes place in the grana of the chloroplast. You know that chloroplast is a organelle which contains chlorophyll, and it has got stacked structures like this, and they are interlinked also. So these are called as stacked structures are called as grana. So inside the grana, chlorophyll is present. That is the photosynthetic pigment. So first step is the splitting of water, or we call it as photolysis of water. When light falls, water gets split up into this 2H positive, half O2 and 2 electrons. So splitting of water and release of O2 definitely happens in photochemical phase, because photochemical phase, that means we are talking about light phase. Photo means light, like the reactions which are taking place in presence of light. Second phase involves the formation of ATP. So used form of NADP, that is again an energy source. It combines with 2H positive, forming NADPH2. Same way, in this case, ADP, that is reduced form of this, combines with inorganic phosphate and give rise to ATP. So all these three phenomena, they occur in light phase. So which one statement is correct? Option D. And in dark phase, food is formed by utilizing ATP, NADPH2 and also CO2. Next question. Study the given figure showing the labeled parts P, Q, R and S, which indicates the arrangement of different types of teeth in a jaw on one side. So here the picture is given, and the different teeth are marked as per their structure, how they look, how they perform, or what is their function in chewing the food. So basically you have got P, Q, R and S. Now let me tell you that they are identified as incisors, canines, premolars and molars, Now here in this case, what happened, like different teeth perform different functions. Like if I talk about incisors, they help in cutting and biting food. Canines, they help in tearing food. And premolars and molars, they help in grinding the food. So here we need to tell that which part helps in cutting and biting. So obviously, undoubtedly, we are talking about incisors. So labeled part P would be the right answer. Option A will be the right answer. Next, match the following organs in column 1 to their functions in column 2. So we have column 1 different organs, and column 2 few functions are given. Now let me tell you, if I talk about lungs is a respiratory organ, and its function is to basically allow the exchange. It has got alveoli, and inside it the exchange of gases takes place. Liver is basically the largest gland of the body. Skin, we all know that our body part is covered with a sense organ, skin, because of which you can feel something. And kidneys, a pair of kidneys is present below the waist, behind the stomach, below the waist, and its function is to remove nitrogenous waste. Now first one option says converts excess glucose to glycogen. Now this happens in liver. And skin help in the removal of sweat. Kidneys help in filter out the waste products, that is nitrogenous waste, and lungs remove large amount of carbon dioxide. So out of it, which is the correct option? Option where P matches with 3 and Q matches with 1 and R matches with removal of sweat, that is 4, and S matches with 2 is the right answer. That is 3, 1, 4, 2. Order would be 3, 1, 4, 2. That is option A. So this is how, students, you have to find the right answer. Now the question says, X and Y denote the number of pairs of cranial and spinal nerves present in human beings respectively. We need to identify X and Y. Now, let me tell you about nerves. What are nerves? We know that we humans, we all organisms, we have the power to respond to the changes occurring around us. Basically, to respond to stimuli, and for that we have nervous system in us. And nervous system cell is called as neuron. Neuron, when they combine, they unite to form nerves. So cranial nerves are, and the spinal nerves are those, like spinal nerves are either originating or terminating in the spinal cord, and cranial nerves are those which are either originating or terminating in the brain. And because brain and spinal cord together form central nervous system. So let me tell you that number of cranial nerves is 12 and number of spinal nerves is 31. So you should know it. Therefore, which option is correct, students? Option A is correct. Next question. Observe and study the given figure, and what kind of reproduction is shown in the figure. Here we have a figure and we need to make out the type of reproduction. Is it budding, conjugation, regeneration or fusion? Now first thing is to identify this organism. Let me tell you, this organism is planaria. It is planaria. And you can see here that this this organism, how it is dividing, it splits up. See, it splits up into different parts. It splits up into different parts, and each part is able to regenerate its lost part. Each part is able to regenerate its lost part. So we can say basically it's a mode of asexual reproduction, and which mode? Where fragmentation is followed by regeneration. That is the process of having again the lost part. So it is not budding, because budding is something where a small outgrowth appears, then it detaches and then form a parent plant. Even it is not conjugation, it is not fusion, it's regeneration. So which option is correct, students? Option C is correct. Next question. The organism shown below exhibit. We have this organism, and option says saprophytic nutrition, parasitic, mixotrophic or symbiotic. Now let me tell you, this organism is Euglena. Please make yourself habitual with all the diagrams so that you can identify the organism when it comes. Okay, so it is Euglena. Now if I talk about its nutrition, that how it obtains energy from the food, or how it obtains food basically. So it is basically mixotrophic in nutrition. Mixotrophic organisms are those which act as autotrophs also, because they have chlorophyll in them, so they can photosynthesize also. And on the other hand, they act as a heterotroph also. How? They obtain food from other organisms. So we say that it has got mixotrophic nutrition. Now if I talk about saprophytic, that means feeding on dead and decaying organic matter. Parasitic, that means deriving nutrition from the host, living in or outside the body of the host and obtaining its nutrition. Symbiotic is when two organisms, when parasite and host live together, and one of them gives shelter, and the other member, it obtain nutrition from the host. So this is what is symbiotic association. It's one of the application of parasitic nutrition. So here the correct answer student is option C, mixotrophic nutrition. Next is observe the given equation. So here we have an equation: glucose plus oxygen forming carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. We need to identify the process. Now let me tell you, if I talk about glucose, that is the stored form of food. Oxygen, that we inhale, and breaking down of glucose. So basically in this reaction what we can say is oxidation of food is taking place. Food is broken down to form carbon dioxide, water and energy. And energy produces in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. Now this process, oxidation of food, it occurs in respiration, because respiration involves three processes. First is intake of oxygen. Second is utilizing that oxygen to carry out oxidation of food, and then giving out CO2. Then it is concerned with giving out carbon dioxide. So it's not transpiration, because transpiration means lot of water vapor through aerial parts of plant. Respiration, that means loss of sweat from your body. photosynthesis is a process of making food, so it is respiration. So which option is correct here? Option B. Next question. Figure given below shows three types of neuron X, Y and Z. Here we have identify neurons X, Y and Z. Now let me tell you that we have nervous system in our body, one of our organ system, which helps in control and coordination, and its cell is called as neuron. Okay, like you can see, these are neurons. Neurons are of three types: sensory neuron, motor neuron and relay, or we can call it as mixed neuron. Okay, function is of neuron, neuron and neurons join together, many neurons join together and they form nerves, and nerves help in carrying the message from the sense organ to the CNS analyzes, and nerve again bring the response to our sensory organ. Now the option says X, Y, Z, that we have to identify which out of them is sensory, which is motor and which is relay. Now let me tell you, this one, first one, X is a motor neuron and Y is relay and Z is sensory neuron. So which option is correct? Option C is correct. So please look at them carefully. This one is motor, this one is relay because it is connecting sensory and motor, and this one is sensory. Next question. Which part of brain interprets vision and color light movement? So here is the structure of brain, and basically we know that it is showing the cerebrum which is largest part of the brain, and cerebrum has got lot of lobes which are involved in different activities, like parietal lobe help in producing, interprets basically touch, taste, temperature. Occipital helps in vision, temporal helps in hearing, and frontal helps in controlling the facial muscular activities. So which of them interpret vision and color? Undoubtedly it is occipital. So which one is correct? Option D. Next question. X, Y and Z are different parts of a flower. X is the part that contains pollen sacs. Okay. Now let me tell you, pollen sacs are present in anther. It has got pollen sacs, and where pollen grains are present. It is present in anther. Okay. Y is the part that pollen lands or in order for pollination. So pollination, basically the transfer of pollen from pollen grain to the stigma of the flower. So basically pollen grain lands on stigma. This part is called as stigma. Z is the part that houses the ovules, where the ovules are present. Now we know that ovules are present here, and this part is stigma, this is style, and this part which acts as a house for ovules is none other than ovary. So I think now you got the answer, that X, which contains the pollen sac, is not a filament, not stigma, rather it is anther. So it can be between C and D. And Y is the part that pollen lands. We know that pollen lands on stigma, not on style. So obviously D is the right answer, because Z is identified as ovary in all the options, like in C and D. So which one is right? Option D. So with this, we have come to an end. I hope my students have understood how to solve this paper. So next time when you get these kind of questions, I believe you are not going to make any sort of mistake. So better luck next time. I would pray that you attempt all the questions, properly, sincerely, and score good marks. So thank you. Bye-bye. Take care. All the best to my students.